want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800.
Hey, I'm going to send you a text.
Again, 800.
Okay.
And I want you to find me the audio clip.
When you haven't found love,
and send
it can
back
feel
to
like
me.
everyone else has. It's in every mood.
You gonna send me through the?
I'm gonna send it to text right now. The chat.
Okay.
Love sucks. Thankfully, California.
Oh, you got 40 seconds.
The guidance you
That's
need
good.
to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers
Yeah, but don't let them get you out of character. Make sure you stay yourself.
I'm good.
and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk.
What up, y'all? It's Negro Nonsense Thursday. Oh, man. And a whole lot of other nonsense to boot. You know what time it is. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. Welcome you all here. I wasn't trying to be in a bad mood. I was feeling all right, doing my job, and I had a phone call exchange with somebody today. We'll get into that. It will get in roughly about the 4 o'clock hour when we do Negro Nonsense, so stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it. Roland, do you want to? I just sent you the text message. Do you remember the clip I'm talking about? Does that ring a bell?
Oh, hold up.
Okay, I want you to see the clip to make sure that you have before we get into the opening monologue. I just want to make sure. That
yeah.
Okay, you remember that clip? Okay, I just want that clip where he says that line, so I can have it for Negro Nonsense at 4 o'clock. I'm so excited, very, very excited. Anyway, what is going on in Washington, which can only be described as palace intrigue? That's what it always is. Many people want to talk about it for several reasons. Yesterday, I got these messages inside, the chat room. When are we going to talk about the shutdown? What haven't you heard? Like, what did you miss? You know that the Democrats are holding out so they can give Medicare or Medicaid to illegals. You know that. You know that there's a debate going back and forth. Like, this is why it's all nonsense. And I just don't want to play a part in that nonsense. The reason why I don't want to play a part in that is this reason. I'm not of the ilk that does radio the way that it is prescribed by these folks in the industry. I know it's something that you used to, but I've heard people tell me, it's like, he's doing the same thing that the other guy is doing. I've heard that over and over again. And then, what do I hear about this program? And this is from you, not me. I don't want to boast myself. I'm not Kanye West here. You guys always say, Reese, you are a breath of fresh air. And it's not like you guys haven't had your fill of conservative talk show hosts. And I'm not doing it on purpose in the sense of, like, I'm trying something. Yeah, let's see how they respond to this. No, this is Reese. You're getting me the way that I communicate with everyone. I am not a put on. This is not some act. I know a lot of folks, in the hood, and some people, black and brown, who don't listen to talk radio, they listen to me and they go, he's got to be putting it on, right? That's not like a real person. I'm a real person. These ideas have been formed for over 30, 40 years. They're new to you because everybody is trying to do a shtick. I'm not shtick. I'm not a guy who doesn't do my homework. I love all of this. And when I say live and love for it, I wake up in the morning, phone in hand, checking the news. Hey, what are these bozos talking about? Who's repeating the same nonsense? Who sounds like everybody else? I love it. I'm a creature of this. This is where I live. This is my jungle. So if I'm telling you I'm not going to do the usual nonsense that you hear from everywhere else, it's for good reason. Why? Because you come to this program and you go, yep, you'll be sitting at home. And you'll go, and I know you have because you told me. Damn, Reese, they were doing a story you did yesterday. Yep, day late, dollar short. Why are they always a day late and a dollar short? Because I know what they're going to do before they're going to do it. Oh, and by the way, can I applaud me? I want to applaud myself. Allow me to applaud myself. Go look up the story by Catherine Heritage, formerly of Fox News, formerly of CBS News. Look at the story that she now has on her X page. Whom did the DOJ send a letter to demanding information from? None other than Andrew Weissman, the guy who I said was one of the big fish on my list. And it looks like the DOJ is going after him. Who told you that here? Who told you that here before it happened? This guy. So with all due respect, I'm not trying to be arrogant or, try to pat myself on my own back. I'm trying to explain to you, don't come here with the same old nonsense. Why aren't we talking about the nonsense everybody else is talking about? I'm not trying to do that for you. On the cutting edge of societal evolution, right? Isn't that what Rush used to say? I used to think it was cute, but now I get it. And it's not about being clairvoyant. It's knowing, it's habits. It's understanding how the newsrooms work. It's also the reason why they're failing, because they keep doing it the same way. They're trying to innovate. I get it. Now many of them are trying to incorporate the alternative media into the mainstream. Nice try, folks. Nice try. By the way, don't ask me. I know people are saying, it's like, well, you should be on that Fox News channel. No, thank you. I'm just not interested. I'm going to grow. This show is going to grow the way that I grow, the way that I see fit. I will not ever have anybody dictate this program but me. That's going to be the bottom line. I got here on my own merits. I got here with my own talent. I've had some help along the way. Of course, my good friend and yours, Todd Feinberg, who I truly believe that man plucked me out of obscurity. That came from God. I waited. I was patient. I didn't send any tapes out to anybody. I wasn't doing any feelers. But I got here through the grace of this network and Todd Feinberg plucking me out of obscurity and me being here. And I promised him as much as I promised Janine, as much as I promised Joey, as much as I promised my producer, Emmy Award-winning producer Roland, that I was going to make this show bigger than ever. And I was going to do it my way. I promised you for the rest of my life. And if I should ever go big, my home is in the Nutmeg State. This is where I got my start in 2004. This is where I ended up 20 years later. 20 years later, I ended up right back here. So I knew it was predestined. There was no way that I'm ever going to do all this other nonsense that everybody else is doing. I know I'm supposed to be here, and I believe it. Hell, I don't believe it. I know it. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the shutdown. Anyway, the shutdown, I just want to do this, if I may. If you go online and you ask people, or if you ask your search engines, isn't Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats lying when they say that not one dime is going to illegals or undocumented people, as they call them, in the Medicaid coverage? And guess what? They will tell you, no, they are not lying. They are telling the truth. Not one dime. But in the next sentence, they say, however, emergency Medicaid is going to undocumented people. And to which I said to Grok, that's the same damn thing. Emergency Medicaid is Medicaid, isn't it? And Grok responds, yes, that is true. And then I respond by saying, then why are you telling me that he's lying? Because they are covering for them. And I'm going to give you the greatest example of this cover-up that happened literally 40 minutes apart on the same program with the same talk show host. I'm not kidding you. 40 minutes apart on the same show with the same talk show host with two different congressmen. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But I'm going to show it to you. Let's start at 5:09 p.m. Eastern Time yesterday on Jake Tapper, Out Front. No, is it Out Front? What is he on? I forget what his show is called. It's not Out Front. That's Aaron's show. Jake Tapper's show. Here is Hakeem Jeffries. No, sorry, Mark Wayne Mullen, talking to Jake Tapper about the provision that the Democrats are trying to put back in this clean CR.
Is funding, taxpayer funding for illegal aliens. They're wanting the American people to continue funding insurance for those that should never have been in this country to begin with.
Now stop. It is important to pay attention to Jake Tapper. It is his show. He is the one conveying that information to you, the audience, while talking to two people on either side of the aisle. Pay very close attention to Jake Tapper's response to what Mark Wayne Mullen is saying about this provision. I will wind it back so you can hear it. Listen, Jake Tapper's response.
Funding, taxpayer funding for illegal aliens. They're wanting the American people to continue funding insurance for those that should never been in this country to begin with.
Well, so
and I know Chuck Schumer says that that's not.
No. I looked into it. I know what you're talking about. I just want to explain to our viewers. So there is a provision that the Democrats want to get rid of, and part of it is Medicaid reimbursements, emergency Medicaid reimbursements to hospitals. Some of which does go to undocumented immigrants using health care there to those hospitals. Some of it is also for people who are in this country legally but are not citizens, people who are refugees or people who have temporary protected status.
So you heard Jake Tapper there confirm what Mark Wayne Mullen has said and suggested. Let me stop you so I can describe it to my audience. Jake Tapper, the anchor. Then 40 minutes later, same show, talking to Hakeem Jeffries, showing Hakeem Jeffries what you just heard on paper. Listen to Jake Tapper. Hakeem Jeffries, not important. He's going to say it's a lie. Listen to Jake Tapper, who, again, just confirmed that Mark Wayne Mullen is telling the truth.
So let me ask you about a provision that the Republicans are talking about quite a bit. I know you want to talk about, and Democrats want to talk about, extending the Obamacare subsidies, which expire at the end of 2025. But they talk about the provisions, and it's right here, subtitle E, and this has to do with the repeal of health care subtitle changes, and specifically what it is. How they characterize it is you want to give health insurance to undocumented immigrants.
How they characterize it? 40 minutes earlier, he was confirming that it was true. Now it's there characterizing it. Interesting.
I understand that's not really an accurate depiction, but what it does do is...
What? I understand that it's not an accurate... Why didn't he make that claim to Mark Wayne Mullen? He seems to be making it for Hakeem Jeffries.
That's a lie. It's a lie, but what...
I know you heard it. He is agreeing with Hakeem Jeffries now, 40 minutes later, it's a lie. It's one thing when the guy's saying it 3 years ago, 4 years ago, hell, a year ago. 40 minutes. Jake Tapper goes from, let me explain to the audience exactly what the Democrats are doing here. Hakeem Jeffries shows up, yes, it's a lie. How can both be true?
What you support does bring back funding for emergency Medicaid to hospitals, some of which does pay for undocumented immigrants and people who don't have health insurance. And also there is this provision, and it's not about undocumented immigrants, it's about people with asylum seekers and people with temporary protected status, et cetera, but about their ability to get Medicaid. So they're non-citizens, they're not undocumented.
So you hear Jake Tapper now here 40 minutes later, giving a cushion, patting the bottom of Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah. I mean, it's not really the things that the Republicans are talking about. The thing that everybody heard me 40 minutes ago confirm is accurate. Now, in your face, I'm going to sit up here and pretend. I don't know. Now, I know that you're saying to yourself, but Reese, that's just them. Oh, don't worry, folks. That wasn't for you. The people who listen to this program know exactly who that was for. For the liars. The ones who are in the chat room, screaming and hollering, talking about, it isn't true, Reese. It's not true. My premiums are going up. I don't know why. And it's obvious why. You don't know why because you can't trust the people who are supposed to convey the truth to you. Even Jake Tapper can't keep a straight face or tell the truth within 40 minutes. Within 40 minutes. That's how despicable this is. You know it, I know it, they all know it. And that's why they're losing. That's why Donald Trump has them against the ropes. His messaging is working. When we come back, I'm going to play you a fantastic supercut that includes our very own Chris Murphy. You wait until you actually hear that knucklehead and what he says about shutdowns. Oh, and it's a whole bunch of them as well. We'll get to all of that. So stand by. We got more news and more views coming at you. I understand that Yale is changing the name of its African American Studies program. It's now going to be called Black Stuff. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. It's got a much cooler name than that. No, I think my name is cooler. Black Stuff. That's what I would have called it. I have a degree in black stuff. We'll talk about it. Stand by. More news, more views that you can shake a stick at. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC NewsTalk 1080.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest.
Hi, Joel Johnson here with Johnson Brunetti. Hey, retirement income. Are you sure that you're maximizing your retirement income? Get the retirement income checklist from us, absolutely free. Text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. Again, call or text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. A checklist to maximize your retirement income.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
Some big news. Just before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers and threats ahead for those who stand for truth. Charlie wrote this in his last published work, the foreword for the new book, Pagan Threat. Authored by Pastor Lucas Miles, Charlie said that Pagan Threat could save America. Charlie said you must read, internalize, and share this book. It has the plan to stop the wokeism infecting America. Already a #1 Amazon bestseller, Pagan Threat is available wherever books are sold. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's special offer and save $30. Go online now to paganthreat.com. That's paganthreat.com. Millions are tuning into Newsmax on all major cable systems. They're downloading our free Newsmax app on their smartphones. And they're getting Pagan Threat to see Charlie Kirk's final words. Go today to paganthreat.com. That's paganthreat.com.
And now, a WTIC news update.
2:30, Hartford temperature 63 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center says we will have mostly sunny skies for the balance of the afternoon. Temps in the 60s. All the forecast details coming up. There is still a boil water mandate in Waterbury. This, despite repairs to that water main that broke last week in the city. They're doing additional testing on the water, the results of which could be in by day's end. In Hamden, police have released the name of a woman who was killed in a crash last month along with her 7-year-old son. Brandy Lowry was 40. A crash occurred September 27th on Davis Street. The boy's name was not released. There's a mayoral debate this evening in Waterbury, in New Britain, that is. Democratic State Representative Bobby Sanchez squares off against a Republican alderwoman Sharon Beloin Saavedra. They are vying to replace Longtime Republican incumbent Aaron Stewart, who opted not to run for re-election. The debate in New Britain gets underway at the public library at 6. Southington school officials say a staffer at Kelly Elementary discovered a broken fentanyl capsule on Wednesday on a sidewalk outside the school. They moved the phys ed activities inside as a result, and parents were notified by the school's principal. British police have declared that a deadly rampage at a synagogue that killed 2 people on the holiest day of the Jewish year was a terror attack. The Assistant Metropolitan Police Commissioner there says the assailant was killed by officers. 2 others are in custody. President Trump using the government shutdown to reshape the federal workforce and target detractors, says he'll be meeting today with the budget director to discuss potential spending cuts. WTIC News Time is 2:32. Let's check in with Bob Cox. He's got the forecast.
It's another pleasant fall afternoon across the area with plenty of sunshine, highs in the 60s, relatively light wind today, mostly under 10 miles per hour. Tonight will be clear to partly cloudy, lows mostly between 38 and 48 degrees. Could see a few spots get a tad colder. And then Friday's mostly sunny. Temperatures begin to moderate as winds shift into the southwest tomorrow, pushing highs into the low 70s. Clear to partly cloudy Friday night, lows in the mid-40s to low 50s. Looks like a real nice weekend coming up. Sunshine both days, high near 80 Saturday, low 80s Sunday. We keep it sunny and warm Monday with highs again in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow up 134 points. NASDAQ is ahead 91, and the S&P is up 10 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax, or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even
I feel sorry for your mother.
If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000. 4400.
I'm retired, newly retired, so this was my first summer not working again. But I had problems with my shoulder. I mean, it was
What you say about my mama?
into my shoulder.
Mike didn't want surgery. 6 months in a sling was not how he planned to spend retirement. That's when he heard about QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
It's a free appointment. And after the first treatment, the next day, I went out and played golf. The pain just wasn't there.
No drugs, no surgery. Just your body's own natural healing power. Orthobiologic concentrated and placed exactly where you need them to go to work.
I couldn't have asked for a better experience. I don't want to take on Mike Tyson, but he'd know I was there.
Now Mike's heading back to QC Kinetics to get his knees treated.
It changed my first summer being retired. It's one I can remember instead of regret.
Get back to doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today to schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
Attention tax. 1 minute. $1,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000. And they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority Tax Relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584.
Priority Tax Relief. Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
Yeah, as we proceed, as they say, to give you what you need, it's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. I just got some crazy news out of New York. My wife ran in here and told me about it. That involves Letitia James. Businesses are decided, we're done, we're out. And it was expected. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have decided to close down their offices. And in their words, as they describe it, due to Letitia James's corruption, they are leaving the city. We'll get some more details on that and talk about it. I'm getting phone calls in the back behind the scenes, and I'm trying to work out this interview tomorrow with the head of the CIAC. And that is the governing body of It's Inter-Athletic Department for Connecticut. It's the Connecticut Inter-Athletic I guess. I'm forgetting the darn name. Don't get me started, I won't lie. But the CIAC is who they are. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, I thought the story was
It's the
dead.
Interscholastic.
Thank you.
Connecticut
Interscholastic.
Athletic Conference.
Right, the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Committee? Conference?
Conference.
Okay. I'm blowing it. Anyway, I thought the story was over. Just when I tried to get out, they pulled me back into this story. We will talk to the head of the CAIC tomorrow because of the phone call I got today, or the phone call I made, but a conversation I had with the young man today. Which I still can't believe happened because it wasn't even supposed to go down. I thought I was gathering information. I thought that there was an aspect to the story that I didn't understand. I thought this individual was going to tell me what that was. The conversation immediately went left. And then he started screaming and hollering at me. He began to call me names. And then he made some disparaging remarks about my mother.
What you say about my mama?
Yeah, I was really, caught off guard by that one. He went there. So I'll explain that during Negro Nonsense, so stand by for that. Back to the government shutdown. As I said, Democrats are really in a jam because they are trying to make their case that we are not trying to give health care to illegals. That was never our platform. And Jeanne Shaheen had the audacity to show up on Fox News' Fox and Friends this morning talking to, what's his name? Lawrence. Why am I forgetting Lawrence's last name? I don't really watch it that much. I like the show with Hemmer and Perino. But anyway, Lawrence was there, and apparently she didn't think Lawrence would be prepared for this, but he came with the sucker punch.
I haven't heard anybody in my party saying that illegal immigrants should get access to the health insurance marketplace.
Are you sure, Jeanne? You haven't heard any Democrats that wish to give illegal immigrants health care? Are you sure? Short memories we have.
I haven't heard anybody in my party saying that illegal immigrants should get access to the health insurance marketplace.
I'm so glad you said that. Actually, I have some tape of your Democratic Party members saying this on the debate stage. So they've all said it. Let's play the clip.
A lot of you have been talking tonight about these government health care plans that you've proposed in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Okay. Yay!
Senator, that's literally every member of your party, from moderate to more progressive, that have said.
Yeah, they all said absolutely, and now they're acting like that's not a stance of ours. That's not a position of ours ever. We don't believe in that. But I'll go one step further. If you want to make this look horrible, let's go to the place where more illegals live per capita than any other state. Let's go back to about 3 years ago in California and watch Governor Gavin Newsom talk about how he is going to provide health care for every American in his state, including undocumented people. And then do a 180 3 years later. Let's check it out. What's his, there he is, Gavin Newsom, 2022, not even 2023. Healthcare, 2022, healthcare, 2025.
The campaign on universal health care, we're delivering that. We are implementing our ideals. We are manifesting this principle, this fundamental notion that so many of us have been preaching for years and years and years. Universal health care for all, regardless of pre-existing condition, regardless of the ability to pay, and regardless of your immigration status. If you care not just about values and principles of morality, but if your only values and principles are advanced through economics, then that alone should be an argument in favor of universal health care.
Don't you care? Don't you care, America? If you care, we must spend. If you care about everybody, if you are the caring and nurturing and needing and wanting and caring, and needing and wanting, caring, more important than needing or wanting, but caring. You wear the pin, you go to the marches, you appreciate the ideas. If you are caring, you have no problem with being able to give this health care to everyone, no matter what their status is. Whether or not they come across the southern border, whether or not they come across the boat into our waterways, into San Diego, whether or not they fly in through parasailing or come from outer space. It doesn't matter what alien you are, you must be caring about that individual and give them universal health care. We may not even have the technology to care for such aliens, but whatever, you must care, don't you?
Pathway and a framework for 1.1 million undocumented residents in the state of California to avail themselves to high-quality, comprehensive Medi-Cal care, long-term, short-term, preventative, as well as in-home support service.
He's not even talking about the emergency care that folks are talking about now. Just emergency stuff. You know, the guy gets a concussion. He falls off his bike. You know, somebody robs him when he's delivering your fast food. That kind of stuff. This guy, you know, the new leader of the Democrat Party, the guy who's a shoo-in as your candidate in 2028, he says no matter what, give him everything.
Care and coverage.
Now, Newsom says California is facing a $12 billion deficit.
What? What? $12 billion? The 2022 plan was only supposed to be $3 billion. That they could they could eat that. But it ballooned. I wonder why.
Governor is proposing freezing enrollment in state-funded health care for undocumented immigrants.
You know, when the program started, it was supposed to cost about $3 billion a year, and that ballooned to $11 billion last year. So the governor is freezing new entries into it and making those, or asking those people who are already in it to pay. Take a look.
Again, what did Newsom end up doing after telling everybody, don't you care? We can spend this $3 billion because you care. It ballooned to $11 billion in a matter of 3 years. $11 billion. Why? Because they found out it was for free, and everyone rushed to the emergency room or just rushed to the hospital. Yeah, you know, I got this toe jam that I've been trying to, you know what I mean? I got a hangnail. You know, I tried to take care of it at home, but I understand that you guys will subsidize it. People were showing up for everything.
We are moving forward with making decisions that not only address the concerns this year related to the $11.9 billion, but mindful that we need to tighten things up. We believe that people should have some skin in the game as it relates to contributions. So we are looking to a monthly premium. We are asking for something we ask all taxpayers of California.
What's that? You mean to pay for it? You're asking them to pay for it? I thought you must not care. Is that the problem, sir? You don't care enough to just give them free health care? What happened? What changed? Shouldn't we ask? We should ask. I don't think anybody's going to tell us. But you got to think about it, folks. Remember, it's not happening.
And you saw the Speaker of the House again saying that what Democrats want to do is provide health care for people who are undocumented. That is a big lie. And you are losing when you're lying.
Yeah, you're losing when you're lying.
In terms of health care, the reality is they're just not being honest. The amount of money that actually is going towards people who are undocumented is such a small portion of the Medicaid cuts or the Affordable Care Act, if at all. And so we can...
It's actually sad. But they're going to have to reopen the government. They're going to have to do it. And boy, when we come back, I am going to play you the supercut of supercuts of these Democrats saying exactly what everyone, even the President of the United States, is saying right now. And we're talking about not too long ago. And this supercut alone is going to make them cave. They'll wait until the weekend. They probably might come in as early as Monday, if not this weekend. It's quite likely we can have the whole thing done and over with by Friday. So when the news cycle's over, by the end of business on Friday, those 7 Democrats decide, hey, let's just sign off on this thing. Yeah. No, the newsrooms are closed. We'll come back Monday and nobody will be the wiser. Stand by. More news, more views, and probably the clip that captures it all when we return on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Attention Southern New England HVAC and mechanical contractors. Eagle Rivet is your trusted roofing partner for professional roof penetrations and flashing. We ensure your customers' roofs remain watertight during installations, protecting their warranties. We also offer complimentary roof inspections to identify potential issues before any HVAC work begins. Call Eagle Rivet today at 860-953-1231 or visit us online at eaglerivet.com. That's EAGLERIVET.com. Eagle Rivet is proud to support rebuilding together Hartford.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication on your accounts, report phishing, and update your software on all your devices. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes identity theft, guaranteed or your money back. So stay smart, stay safe, and stay protected with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use the promo code BECK. Terms do apply.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry, Terry.
Keep awkwardly
Terry,
chanting your own name, Terry. You
Terry.
deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
We all hear the radio about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at .com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Now, remember, folks, it's important to note that we're not, we're not surprised by hypocrisy, at least not on the conservative side. We make this argument over and over and over again. It's at one point where we know that is the status quo with a lot of libs, especially progressives. But the White House is now doing what all of us have been doing before, in creating these folks and creating these videos, I should say, of the contradictions of people in power. The ones who are the most vocal today about standing firm on the government shutdown, who say that the government shutdown is the fault of the president. It's the Republicans' fault. That a government shutdown is bad and they should know better. But they are willing to stand firm on this. Why? Because, even though they're lying about it, they want illegals to get Medicaid care. That's all. So here's what the president released yesterday.
To hold these people hostage instead of just letting them do their jobs, which they want to do while we work out our differences. So wrong.
This is democracy. And in a democracy, hostage tactics are the last resort for those who can't win their fights through elections, can't win their fights in Congress, can't win their fights for the presidency, and can't win their fights in the courts.
A government shutdown of any duration would harm hardworking Americans and our economy.
Why should we ask TSA officers to go without their hard-earned pay while they protect our airports?
I'm a senator from Virginia. Some of the hardest effects of shutdown will be seen in my state.
If the government shuts down, it will be average Americans who suffer most.
Some who right now are trying to figure out how they're going to pay rent, how they're going to make mortgage payments, how they're going to keep college payments going, how they're going to keep the lights on, how they're going to keep food on the table.
Had the government shut down, hundreds of thousands of people would have not gotten their paychecks. Federal employees would have been furloughed, sent home.
Our military won't get paid. Head Start teachers won't get paid. Our wildfire fighters won't get paid.
That's Chris Murphy.
Federal prison guards won't get paid.
A government shutdown means seniors who rely on Social Security could be thrown into chaos. Our veterans could see regional VA offices shut down and support services put on hold.
Shutdowns are not good for the economy.
Shutdowns cost taxpayers billions of dollars per week.
Shutdowns cost the economy billions of dollars.
That's Chris Murphy.
They cost businesses money. They could even cause a downgrade to the nation's credit rating.
Families who benefit from WIC and other nutrition programs could see benefits halted.
Oh, no, not WIC.
This shutdown continues indefinitely. 39 million Americans will risk not having enough food. They will lose their SNAP benefits in February.
You ain't gonna be able to feed the babies.
So that means American children will be going to bed hungry.
Oh my God, they're gonna go to bed hungry. Oh man.
It's unacceptable.
The longer that this shutdown goes on, the more Americans that will be affected.
Critical services and our economy are being threatened with poison pill partisanship. Shutting down the government should not be a negotiating tactic.
Hostage taking is all they have left, a last gasp of those who cannot cope with the realities of our democracy.
They cannot cope with the realities of our democracy. Again, you don't need me to tell you. You don't. That's their words. That's their party. They're the ones that are keeping the babies from eating. Don't you have compassion? What about their poor paychecks? People are going to die. Aren't they? Isn't that what we're told all the time? Someone's going to die. If the president doesn't do this now, people will die. But the Democrats don't seem like they're going to be. We're not giving up our critical infrastructure of the Democrat Party demands that we stand up. Stand up then. Stand up. Explain to them how you will risk it all over Medicare for illegals. You're losing that fight. You keep calling it a lie, more and more evidence comes up. But let me say this. This is the most important part. And I was thinking about it last night as I was preparing for the show, as I usually do the night before, like where I'm going to go. And the thing that really, kind of irked me, but then made sense. It's like the Democrat Party doesn't expect their own constituents to look up the facts on this. It is in plain writing, as you saw Jake Tapper hand over to Hakeem Jeffries. This provision right here that you're trying to get repealed, right here, in your own documents. While Democrats are on TV saying it's a lie. Why are they doing that? Simple, because it happens here on this show. Their people, their constituents, their supporters are too lazy to look it up themselves. As I argue with a lot of people who try to debate me on this program. They come at me with these stories, half-assed, haven't been researched. They grab the first headline they see that supports what they already believe, and then when they get on this microphone, they get on these phones, and they talk to me, I completely chop it up into bits like I'm a sous chef. And they wonder how they failed, because they're too lazy to do the work. And I don't know how many times I have to tell them, you are just following suit. You're just literally like goose stepping behind these morons who will lead you down that path and into these discussions. You're not fully armed. They don't care about you. If they cared about you, they'd at least tell you the truth. They would just go into the camera and go, yes, we're fighting for illegals to get health care. After we do the headlines, I've got documented proof of 3 states. We got to go. Let's go to the top of the hour news. John Silver's in the newsroom. It's Reese on the Radio.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
3 o'clock, Hartford temperature 63 degrees. We'll keep the sunshine for the rest of the afternoon, and we'll keep the temperatures in the 60s, too. All the forecast details coming up. Deadly attack outside a British synagogue on Yom Kippur.
It's devastating to hear on the holiest day of the year for the Jewish community.
2 are dead, 3 injured. Vicky Barker with the latest in London.
After this morning's car and stabbing rampage at a Manchester synagogue, Scotland Yard confirming
Counter-terrorism policing has declared this as a terrorist incident.
police are being praised for their speedy response. 3 minutes after the first emergency call, specialist armed officers were being scrambled. 7 minutes after, they shot the suspect dead.
2 others are under arrest in that case. We could soon see an end to a boil water advisory in Waterbury, more than a week after a water main break. Mayor Paul Pernaruski says test results will be back soon.
There was a second sample that was sent back yesterday, and they're in the process of letting that go through the testing process. It takes 24 hours. And if those are all negative, which they should be, we will be lifting the boil water advisory.
Now, that advisory has been in effect not for the entire city, but for homes that lost water service during last week's break. Service to all was restored when a bypass line was installed. Repairs to the permanent line continue. A pill capsule found outside an elementary school in Southington is tested positive for fentanyl. The find made Wednesday outside Kelly Elementary. The principal contacted families saying that a school staffer found the capsule on a sidewalk. They held phys ed classes indoors for the day as a precaution. Police sent it to be tested, which then confirmed the presence of fentanyl. Day 2 of the federal government shutdown, and it's anyone's guess when it'll end. But correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns reports lawmakers from both sides are at least talking.
We saw yesterday conversations start to take place, and that's a big deal up here because both sides were not even talking originally. There is a small group of bipartisan senators who are talking about a way to reopen the government and also address some of the health care concerns, those ACA Obamacare subsidies that Democrats want to be addressed.
Irregularities in the offices of the governor and lieutenant governor have been uncovered in a state audit. More from WTIC's Morgan Cunningham.
It finds that the office of the governor didn't properly maintain daily vehicle mileage logs, although logs were available. Out of 84 times when the vehicles should have been parked at approved state lots overnight, they were only parked in them 37 times. The report goes on to find a roughly 3-to-1 ratio of computers to employees, suggesting an excess, and it also finds that staff timesheets were approved without direct knowledge of the work hours or locations of those employees, while also lacking written procedures in the office of the governor on how to review and approve them. Recommendations include the review of existing policies within the Department of Administrative Services and also the creation of a timesheet policy unique to the governor's office. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News.
The report released this morning looks into the fiscal years ending 2023 and 2024. European leaders are trying to counter Russia's aggressive drone behavior.
Denmark's prime minister opened the meeting.
Russia will not stop until they are forced to do so. And they are a threat, not only to Ukraine, but to all of us.
She said peace with Russia can only be achieved through strength.
We have to make our common Europe so strong that war against us becomes unthinkable.
Correspondent Cammie McCormick, WTIC News Time 3:04. Checking traffic down in Norwalk on 95 northbound between exits 16 and 17. Left lane is taken out due to a 2-vehicle crash. The road work will be winding up on 384 East prior to exit 3 in the left and center lanes soon. In Waterbury, Route 8 southbound between 30A and 27. Left lane repair work still going on there. Avon Mountain on the eastbound side. Looks like we've got the right lane still out. That'll continue to be the case for another half hour or so. And as far as the 95 corridor is concerned, looks like our biggest delays are coming out of Greenwich from 95 northbound between exit 6 up through Westport and exit 7, actually Norwalk and exit 17. Let's check the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
Dating back to August, it's been pretty dry across our region, and it looks like this dry weather is going to continue as we head through early October. Dry right through the weekend and into early next week with a ridge of high pressure in control. Definitely feeling like fall out there this afternoon with some sunshine. We'll top out in the mid-60s. Another chilly night for tonight, partly cloudy, down to 41. Most outlying spots will be down into the 30s, and a few spots could even have a touch of frost. And sunshine, a few clouds, breezy for tomorrow. A little bit warmer again. We're back up into the mid-70s. Another cool night tomorrow night. And then Saturday, it starts to feel like summer again. Plenty of sunshine. We're back up into the low 80s. Looks like we'll be into the low 80s again on Sunday with a good deal of sunshine. And that warm weather continues right through early next week. Next chance for rain probably doesn't come until the middle of the week. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
Wall Street, the Dow up 115. NASDAQ is ahead 108, 109. And the S&P is up 10 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. It's 3:06. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Another summer over, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower. Your workouts aren't as productive. Perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time. Maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Northeast Men's Health and get treated for your low T, because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improve sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T tests and a medical consult. And if you start treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promedic restorative health practice.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
We'll get back to this because I have so many other visual aids and information to go into all of this, which I wish people would have recognized this ahead of time before this government shutdown began and before the argument even started. Because it's not like the state where all of this stuff is happening don't have it already on their websites. And many websites in the states that I'm going to be referring are now scrubbing it, even though they put it there. Undocumented people are all eligible for Medicaid. We'll show you and tell you some examples in a minute. Let's break down some news. Chris Murphy has raised millions this year, and he's giving some of it away. It's who he's giving it to that's suspicious. Now get this. After it was revealed that Murphy was fundraising to the tune of $10 million, you couldn't help but ask, what would he need all of that money for now? You might remember that NBC News reported last week that Murphy gave about $1 million to several organizations, including $100,000 to the Soros-funded Indivisible. We now have a list of other organizations he's donated to, and it looks like a presidential strategy, if you've ever seen one. Two of the groups that he gave money to, they organize young people and urge them to vote. They're the Georgia Youth Justice Coalition for Action and Project 26 in Pennsylvania. He also donated to Down Home, North Carolina, which aims to build a multiracial movement for working people in rural North Carolina. Murphy has said that the group knows that it's working class people who will pay the price for Republicans' billionaire tax cut. And lastly, a group called, and I'm going to pronounce this poorly, so Wendy, you may have to help me, Reese Action, out of Wisconsin, a group that focuses in part on educating Latino voters. What is so interesting in those 4 states? They are swing states. And if he's donating to those organizations, he can get them to start his ground game there. They are not the first states where a Democrat a candidate would actually go to first. South Carolina would be the one. But if you start donating money to certain organizations that, of course, have to deal with voting, why would you do that? Swing states are important. That's how he's starting a ground game. So, in essence, it's a slush fund. The final order of removal against illegal immigrant and accused MS-13 gang member Kilmar Abrego Garcia will stand now after an immigration judge rejected a motion from his attorneys to reopen the case on Wednesday. In August, Abrego Garcia's attorneys had petitioned to reopen the case due to fears that he was at risk of imminent removal to Uganda, after the Department of Homeland Security notified them that he may get deported to the African country. He's going. And Abrego, when you get there, say hello to Undugu for the rest of us. For those of you who know that reference, let me know in the chat room. Undugu. It takes a certain kind of person to remember who that is. I know Rama. Don't even text me, Rama. I know you're going to remember who that is. An alleged Sinaloa cartel leader admitted in an interview to CNN that President Trump's aggressive border policies have made the illegal work of the powerful Mexican gang more difficult. An anonymous member of the El Chapo's former gang explained that Trump's immigration and drug policies have put a damper on the black market tradecraft. In the interview, which the news station's senior national correspondent, David Culver, in the back of an SUV, he says, from killing to coordinated smuggling operations, do you think that what President Trump has been doing has been making your job tougher? The cartel member says, oh, yeah. He says he has made it difficult. What was CNN doing in this interview? Were they running out of people to talk to find out how Donald Trump's economy is affecting their business? And they went out on a limb and said, let's find out how the cartels. I mean, why would you do that? Like, would you actually log that report? President Trump is destroying the trafficking industry. News at 11. We talked to a Sinaloa cartel member to find out exactly how Donald Trump is ruining their industry. I'm sorry. I just don't know. I don't know why you would do that report. That technically should have been the stupidest thing, but I have something far better.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
This stupidest thing I read today deserves the ultimate of applause. Homeland Security Advisor Corin Lewandowski said in an interview that Immigration Customs Enforcement will attend next year's Super Bowl halftime show featuring Bad Bunny. Lewandowski appeared on the Benny Show, which is the Benny Johnson show, and said, this is my favorite, There is no way that you can provide a safe haven to the people in this country illegally. We will find you, we will apprehend you, and we will put you in a detention facility, and we will deport you. Lewandowski says that ICE will be present at the Super Bowl, of all things for them to be. Now, I don't really think, which would be quite bold, if an illegal immigrant actually purchased a ticket to go to the Super Bowl. Those seats ain't cheap, ladies and gentlemen. It just ain't cheap. But to at least, because everyone is talking about this Bad Bunny thing. I don't know why. I don't even care. Once they put Jay-Z in charge, it didn't matter. I looked at it as just watch the game, turn the halftime show to something else. I hear Turning Point USA might do their own halftime show, much like Living Color did back in the 90s, that they'll just do their own. And I think they were considering having Creed as their halftime show. So, you know, if you wish to turn to something, I'm almost certain, don't they have the Puppy Bowl every year, Roland?
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, you don't know anything about the Puppy Bowl? Okay, so it's usually it's counter programming during the Super Bowl for people who don't like football. And so they do this every year. They have the counter programming are things like the Puppy Bowl. They've done Lingerie Bowl for people who don't like football. The other thing that they do is TBS or TNT will play football-like movies for those who do not want to watch the game because they have no skin in the game. So if your team's not playing and you don't want to watch the football game for that, you can watch other football-like programming. So they'll play, what's that? The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler version. Or they'll play my favorite, my go-to, The Replacements. I love that movie. I don't know why, but I love it. I don't love it as much as I love Dodgeball, but I do love that movie, The Replacements. It's got a lot of quotable lines in that movie. But I will watch that instead if I don't want to watch the Super Bowl. But they always have that counter programming. You've never seen the Puppy Bowl? Yeah, it's adorable.
Yeah, I'm not into dogs.
Oh, really? Oh, you're not a dog person? Oh, I didn't know that. Are you a cat person?
I don't like animals.
Oh, you don't like animals? Wow. That's not cool. I like animals. I don't like wild animals. Puppies and cats. I mean, that's okay. Wendy, nobody is hating on Puerto Rican pride. It's okay for you to love Bad Bunny. I know he's your thing. A cross-dressing Puerto Rican who sings Spanish songs. I mean, I can understand why that's everybody's cup of tea. I'm kidding. No, I don't. Kathy says that Puppy Bowl is on before the Super Bowl on Animal Planet. Is it? It doesn't air during? Oh, they should put it on during. I said they are puppies that are up for adoption. I did not know that. Oh, then my wife can't watch that. She cannot watch that. Do they ship the puppies to you, or do you have to pay for shipping? And what kind of shipping do they do with puppies? That seems daunting. I don't know. That seems weird. Let's go to the phones. Tom is on the line. What's going on, sir?
Hey, just to clarify, I think the Puppy Bowl is on during the halftime.
I thought it was.
And, yeah, I think it is. And the Lingerie Bowl is technically football because it's women wearing lingerie playing football.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not campy. It's not like a bunch of girls hitting each other with pillows, right? It's real.
Yeah, I don't think it's on anymore, but yeah, it was funny.
No, it's on. I just watched it not too long. Maybe it was an old video, but I just watched some of it. Yeah, I just watched the game online the other day.
Oh, wow. Hey, another thing to clarify. I was wrong the other day when I said the military will get their pay. Technically, they won't, but when it's all said and done, everyone gets their back pay anyway.
Well, wait, hold on. You're not wrong, because Russ Vaught, and I think it was yesterday, the news said there were several outfits that said that they were going to pay everybody their last paycheck even after the shutdown began. So everybody will have a paycheck this week. It's about how long it lasts and whether or not next week will be. Right now, what's up for grabs is whether or not next week's paychecks will go, or next pay period's paychecks will go out. They were certain to make sure that all the paychecks for this current pay period, everybody got their money.
Yeah, through the end of September.
Right.
I think I used to get paid twice a month in the military.
Yep.
That's probably what they still do, but I don't know. But
No, I mean,
hey,
some people get paid monthly, I think. Or at least I know retireds do.
Maybe now. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, retires. But who knows?
Yeah.
I wish I got a pension from the Army, but that ain't happening. Hey, that superintendent that got found out the illegal.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not hearing much. Fox News just mentioned it a little bit, but it blows the big con that illegals aren't voting. He was a registered to vote in Maryland.
Yes. And he voted several times.
Yeah. So anyone that says that illegals are not voting, it's such a bold-faced lie. It makes my blood boil.
Yeah, and you know what's the big argument that again, and here's the reason why it's not been reported, because Democrats' answer to that is they go, it's one guy. And I'm going, if it were one guy, remember, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was one guy. And they turned that into the plight of all illegals. But this guy gets caught, he got a driver's license. He becomes a superintendent, gets a six-figure salary. And their response is when they find out that he was illegally voting, it's just one guy, which again shows how disingenuous they are.
Yeah, and when they ship him to Uganda or wherever to live like a king, because he's been making $200,000 a year for how long?
I'm hoping, you know what? You're 100% right. If he is allowed to leave with whatever money he gained from that school district, he is going to live like a king should they send him to Uganda. Not so much for Kilmar Abrego Garcia. That guy was making, he was making pennies compared to what this Iowa guy was making. His story is this. I don't think we're going to hear much about it because it's just one guy and they caught him and it's over. Plus, there's not a lot of people pleading for his return because he duped so many people, even those on the left. He duped them too. So they've got egg on their face and they are kind of like, you can't really defend when you look like a moron.
Yeah, it makes them look bad.
Exactly. So they're going to let him go. They're going to be like, you duped us and you got busted. Sayonara, homie. That's the way it goes. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you. Let's get Georgie in here real quick before we go. What's up, George?
Hi, Ross. Look, we're right back where we started, even after they come back from the shutdown.
Right.
You're still $37 trillion plus $1.5 more trillion added to the deficit. The point I'm making is switch the federal government to a revenue generating company. That we've got $100 trillion in oil and gas revenues we could use. If the government has to get in the airline business and buy airlines, they should do that. They should buy stock. They should operate like any corporation. We have Trump in there now. We can start the federal corporation and start generating revenue.
They're giving him hell for that, George. With the we have like a 10% stake in that hardware company. Why am I forgetting the name of it right now?
Well, yeah, you got to think outside the box now. You're right back where you started, even after after the government shutdown is over. You're still heavily in debt.
Yeah.
So like I said, turn the government into a revenue generator, not taxes, because they blow every cent. Taxes
That's it. You're 100% right, and that's it's insane that these programs that they don't want to lose, every time we find out what they are, They're just bloat. It's not
You know,
even.
Reese, they can get in the AI business alone.
Yes.
They can sell medical information. They can sell legal information. They can sell when you go to you have to pay for a degree, right?
Yep.
That's information. The government's trying to go in the information business. That's just one example.
You know what? And again, information today is as easy to get. In fact, it's easier to get information or to learn things today online than it ever is to get into an institution.
Depending on what it is, it's worth a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
It's AI.
Yeah, without a doubt. Thank you, Georgia. I appreciate you, man. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more news, more views. And we're going to talk to you about William Tong, who's finally on the right side of an issue. It's an issue we talked about last week and the Connecticut River. He actually did something for the benefit of Connecticut. And if you haven't heard it, you're going to be as surprised as I was when I heard about it. Yeah, William Tong. I am actually going to praise his name. William, what happened? I'd love to talk to the guy. Not that he would ever come on the show. But he's the only one who actually seems to care about the environment. Unless there's some money in it. Maybe that's the problem. All right, we'll figure all that out. All right, stick around. More news, more views. We've got our Between Rounds winner coming up, as well as we got Hollywood news, we got Negro nonsense, and a whole bunch of other stuff when we return. Plus, I got to tease a guest that we're going to have on the program tomorrow from the CIAS, or CAIS, right? CIAS, right? Yeah.
TIAC.
CIAC, whatever. I'll have it right by the time the show's over. We'll talk to you about that when we return. Stand by. That Baker story, for some odd reason, has legs for all the wrong reasons. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Get a head start to your day with WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen to us live on the Odyssey app before you even hit the road. Get the breakdown on the biggest news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080.
Here at ALO, we believe hearing solutions to your main drain problems shouldn't cost a thing. That's why we offer free mainline drain camera inspections and free estimates on sewer line repair or replacement. Contact the trusted professionals at ALO when you call, click, or text today and say, hello, ALO. Call for details. Licensed for safety. HIC 628926, P10277688, S10413487, D10401465, S3308699, SM3004646, E1185643.
Hey y'all, this is Maggie Freeling, host of the new podcast, Up and Vanish Weekly. Tune in each week as Payne Lindsay and I are joined by other true crime experts to take a fresh look at some of the most puzzling crimes and shine a spotlight on the cases that have stumped investigators for far too long. So go right now and search Up and Vanish Weekly in your podcast app to follow the show. Listen for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 3:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. We've got a mix of clouds and sun this Thursday afternoon. We'll keep temperatures in the 60s. All the forecast details coming up. The boil water advisory in Waterbury has been lifted. Water samples came back negative today in wake of the water main break last week and the repairs this week. The mayor thanked residents, businesses, and others in a statement. released from his office a short time ago. A pill capsule that tested positive for fentanyl was found outside an elementary school in Southington. The find made Wednesday by a staffer outside Kelly Elementary. It was sent for testing, which confirmed the fentanyl presence. The school's principal has notified parents. Mayoral debate tonight in New Britain. The Democratic State Representative Bobby Sanchez is squaring off against Republican Alderwoman Sharon Beloin-Serreta at the public library, two vying for the city's top job, as longtime Republican Mayor Aaron Stewart chose not to seek re-election. The debate gets underway at 6. Police in Hamden have released the name of the mother who was killed last month in a crash that also took the life of her 7-year-old son. 40-year-old Brandy Lowry and her son died in that crash on Davis Street. The accident occurred September 27th. British police have declared that a deadly rampage at a synagogue on this Yom Kippur that killed 2 people in the holiest day of the Jewish year was a terror attack. The Assistant Metropolitan Police Commissioner Lawrence Taylor says the assailant was killed by officers. 2 other suspects have been arrested. U.S. immigration judge has denied a bid for asylum from Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Judge in Baltimore on Wednesday denied an application to reopen his asylum case, but he has 30 days to appeal. WTIC News Time, 3:32. Here's the forecast.
A pretty nice fall afternoon across the region. Sunshine mixing with clouds. We're up into the mid-60s and partly cloudy tonight. A little bit chilly again. Down to 41. A little bit warmer for tomorrow. Sunshine and a few clouds, breezy, back up to 75. And feeling like summer again over the weekend. Plenty of sunshine for Saturday. We're up to 81, and the warm weather stays with us on Sunday. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
From the WTIC 24-hour traffic network in Watertown, Route 73 is closed at Yale Street. Got some debris in the road there, including a pole and some wires, so be mindful of that if you're traveling in the town of Watertown. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic a part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, ShopRite, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Kurt.
You're supposed to be on fire as a person. You're supposed to want to get things done. I started having anxiety out of the blue, low libido, brain fog, not feeling driven. Literally had to push myself every day to get up and get things done. I was driving and I heard Northeast Men's Health on the radio, and the first consult seemed reasonable. So I decided to give it a call and made an appointment. They found that I had low T, and after that, it was like a light switch got turned on. I've been a patient at Northeast Men's Health for about 9 months now. Everything's gotten a lot better in my life. Energy, feeling, just work, a whole lot better. Even my kids notice. They're like, Daddy's got energy, Daddy's ready to go. If you don't feel like that, I would suggest calling Northeast Men's Health.
Thanks, Kurt. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99 with results in minutes. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call today, 800-930-5956, or go to northeastmenshealth.com.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline. So I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Until 11/1, select models only.
Second opinions.
You get them with your health.
So why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
to schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people.
Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc., member FINRA SIPC.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Hi, this is Joel Johnson with Johnson Brunetti. Do not make mistakes when it comes to Social Security decisions. Get our free guide, Social Security Decisions. Call or text the word security to request your copy. 1-800-705-1232. Call or text the word security to 1-800-705-1232 to get your free guide. 1-800-705-1232.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
We all hear the radio.
1 minute.
IRS, they tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an 8+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com.
800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey. Whoa. Let's not put all 100 candles on the cake. It'll ruin the frosting and probably set the place on fire. And there's expensive radio equipment in here, too.
We're back, Reese on the radio, and thank you folks so much, always, for checking out the program. Back to the original topic of the day about the government shutdown and the debate about whether or not illegals are receiving Medicaid. We have some documented evidence that it's true, and we went through the list of states. And remember, each state is subsidized with federal dollars. What the state does with that is their own business, yes. But if the states are offering that money, or if it's being allowed to use federal money to subsidize illegals' medical costs, they will do it. Some states won't. Here's a few that do. As I've already played with Gavin Newsom, California, undocumented children, 0 to 18 years old, pregnant women, all low-income undocumented adults. The coverage details is full Medi-Cal benefits, children and pregnant women regardless of status. Expansion to non-pregnant adults ages 19 to 59. That begins on July 1st of 2027. In Colorado, undocumented children, 0 to 18. Low-income undocumented adults, also on that list. This is what the coverage covers. Full Health First Colorado, Medicaid, for children, subsidized data, private plans. Omni Salud, I don't know what that is, and for adults via state funds. In Illinois, undocumented children, 0 to 18, pregnant women, undocumented adults, seniors between the age of 42 and 64, plus 65 and up. That's full medical assistance for children and pregnant coverage For adults 42 to 64. This is full coverage. Massachusetts, illegals between the ages of 0 and 18. Pregnant women, low-income undocumented adults. This is through Mass Health Standard or the Common Health for children, pregnant and adults, meeting income rules regardless of status. Minnesota, undocumented children, 0 to 18. Pregnant women, all low income. You see a pattern here? Do you see a pattern here? New York, 0 to 18. Pregnant women, undocumented seniors, 65 and older. Here, we even got a screenshot for those of you who are watching online. Here's New York healthcare plan. The new health insurance option for undocumented immigrants over 65. It reads that it says, starting January 1st, 2024, there is a new option for health insurance available for undocumented immigrants over the age of 65. That's on their own website. In Oregon, undocumented individuals, any age, full expansion. Rhode Island's on the list. Undocumented children, 0 to 18, including DACA and pregnant women. Here's a screenshot of theirs website. Says it right there, including children who are undocumented and DACA on their own website. The Rhode Island Medicaid program, health insurance for you and your family. Saying that it isn't there is nonsense. Here's North Carolina. They don't advertise it, but it's on their page. Emergency Medicaid. If you cannot get full health coverage through North Carolina Medicaid and are not a U.S. citizen, you may be able to get emergency Medicaid. Anyone can apply for emergency Medicaid, no matter their immigration status. They only need to meet the regular Medicaid rules, like age and income requirements. So this nonsense that nobody's on it, nobody who's illegal or undocumented is over, is nonsense. And what happens is that the one big beautiful bill eliminates it. They want it back. And the reason why they want it back is because this is valuable to them. This is very valuable to them. We got to keep them healthy. We got to say we're doing something for them. They can't get them any money anymore, but we can get them Medicaid benefits. I don't know how anybody can look at this and say, I don't know what you're talking about, Reese. I don't think anybody can look at this and say that it isn't a fact. I got people in the chat room saying to me that if Jesus were alive today, he'd be upset with me. Really? Jesus? Jesus would be mad at me? Is that how low we're going now? Jesus? Hey, Roland, do you know? Jesus would not be. He wouldn't be happy with you today.
That's not true.
Who does that? I mean, that is the rantings of a child. What would Jesus say that you were behaving? I mean, come on. I almost feel like that's desperate. Like, how desperate can you be for you to say something like that to me? It's absolutely horrible. Anyway, I just wanted to reiterate that. You know what? Let me take Chip. I don't think it. Did I get Chip yesterday? Chip, did we get you yesterday?
No, I haven't spoken to you.
Nah, he didn't call.
I know. I know he was on the phone lines. I just didn't get to him in time. I knew I saw his name there, but I didn't get to him in time. What's going on, Chip?
Reese, I call you Professor Reese for a reason, and I do, because you're my mentor. You're my go-to guy with what's you're talking about. And you know something? I said this to you probably months ago with the illegal immigrants getting this, getting that, and free. And Reese, I'll try and put a little different spin on it. you, me, or any other person try going to another country, not only expecting but demanding, like, and I'm 64. I look good though. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying.
I hear you.
I look pretty good for an OG.
I hear you.
But my whole life, and I'm still working. I'm retired. Been retired for several years now.
Mm-hmm.
I work part time, and I worked my butt off for like my insurance.
Sure.
You get Medicare A, B, C, D, HGA. I don't know what the heck it is, but I'll do the whole health. But my point is. But my question for you, Professor Reese, seriously, and your listeners, is this? And I think I'm right. Is this like a political thing? In other words, like the Democrats, from what I'm hearing and watching on the Real News, Fox. That's what I call it, Real News, Fox News. And Chucky Schumer, they're saying he's really responsible, like for the government shutdown. I know
it is. Look, I will go. Let me go a little further than what Fox News is saying, and a lot of the political pundits are saying. They are making this about Chuck Schumer and AOC because they're saying that Chuck Schumer is in control and he's keeping Democrats at bay because if he doesn't, AOC has a control of the progressive wing that will allow her to unseat him in 2028. Now, let's be absolutely honest. We're talking about Democrats here who have a very short memory. Because if they had a long one, they would remember that it was just a couple of years ago they were against a government shutdown that they seem to be all in for today, right? So in 2020,
I don't understand, though.
yeah, exactly. That's why I say don't pay attention to that. That's a talking point or a news item that they're trying to build off of. It's got nothing to do with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will be one of the first people to throw her hat in 2028 because she will, one, be eligible, and she's got the clear popularity. They've got no bench, so she has to run. She's no threat to Chuck Schumer. None. Here's where the problem is. Democrats are losing at everything. Their gains are minimal. And when I say their gains are minimal, yes, are they getting coverage of protests? Are they getting coverage of these folks who are protesting ICE? Are they getting favorable coverage when they burn down Teslas? Sure they are. But guess what? The polling data shows that their credibility and their, let's just say their base is not really seeing them as a powerful force. Only 34% of Democrats see them as strong leaders. That means that they're losing. This is one of those arguments or debates where if they hold or they stand up to Donald Trump, that maybe they'll bolster their numbers. They're not understanding that there are consequences for their actions in this. And they also haven't considered this. They think that everything is measured by their hatred of Trump and MAGA Republicans. What they don't realize is that everything that they try backfires on them because Trump has already set something up for them to sort of fall. He's setting a trap because they become so predictable. And when you know what you're going to, remember, everything that they're doing is a response to Trump. Not one of them have been proactive in their actions. Like nothing they've done has been, Democrats are now debating this, that, and the third, and the media is championing behind them. Everything they and the news media do, but then again, I repeat myself, they keep responding to Donald Trump doing something. Donald Trump puts out the meme with the sombrero with Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah.
He goes out there and he calls it racist. Then the news media follows suit and they call it racist. What does Trump do? He doubles down on it. And then Erin Collins, whatever her name is, not Erin Collins, Caitlin Collins, comes on her program and says, I don't think they care. And the truth is, they don't. They don't care. And when you call it something, they'll double down on it.
And don't forget about the fake eyelashes. I'm not hating on Jasmine Crockett, but she is so arrogant, Reese. You know, again, I joke with you a lot, but I'm learning and learning more and more.
But you should look at it this way. I'll go this way, Chip, before I let you go. Here's the way I would look at it, right? With everything that the Democrats have been able to get airtime for everything that's being covered in the news about their outrage, how is it that their numbers can't get above 29%? How is it?
You're the man. You're a professor.
Exactly. And the reason why is because Donald Trump owns the narrative. They're just responding to it.
I love my father, Trump. Can I say one last thing?
Real quick.
Okay. Are the politicians and the senators like Chucky and are they getting paid with the government shutdown or no?
Oh, you damn well right they're getting paid. Come on. Those guys will never miss a paycheck. No. They'll never.
You know what?
They'll never miss a paycheck.
I was going to set up a GoFundMe for the senators, but I got not passed now.
You're good, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, Reese.
You got it. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We got weather and traffic coming up with Mark Christopher and John Ferrick, who's filling in for Bob Larson when we return. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
At Ayala Home Services, we handle hundreds of water heater issues a year. We know how much of an inconvenience no hot water is, and with our fully stocked trucks and warehouse, you can get your hot water back as soon as the same day.
Yes, there is a vote, Jason.
At ALO Home Services, when you call, click, or text today and say, hello, ALO, call for details. Licensed for safety. HIC 628926, P102776688, S1041347, D104014665, S33086999, SN3004646, E1185643.
A winning team has great players and coaches with different strengths and expertise, but all with a common goal, to win. A full-service law firm is no different. At BPS Lawyers, we have top legal minds in every specialty: personal injury, business law, family law, criminal defense, and more. Visit any of our 6 offices across Connecticut. When it comes to the law, you don't just need a lawyer. You need a full-service law firm. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Visit bpslawyers.com. Proud full-service law partner of UConn Athletics. Nick Payne-Dearest is responsible for this ad.
Attention taxpayers. If you owe $5,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000. And they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority Tax Relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584.
Priority Tax Relief. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio. The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up
I'm going
to
to talk about it in the
30%
next
off.
hour, Wendy, I promise.
leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We're back. People, Wendy's asking me in the chat room, who talked about your mama? I don't know who the guy is. I just know he said something disparaging about my mama. I'll tell you in a minute.
What you say about my mama?
I couldn't believe that he did it. I was like, that's an awkward thing to say in the middle of a professional conversation. It was just really, really bad. It was really, really, really bad. I just got some word on Greta Thunberg. climate activist Greta Thunberg has been removed from the steering committee of the global Sumund flotilla due to ongoing disputes. If you've been paying attention to that, she's been on these flotillas going into Gaza or into Israel, and they've kicked her off of it, probably because she's getting more attention than the group is. And it makes sense to me. She's kind of taken all of the oxygen out of the room. So she's no longer there. Also, in Negro Nonsense, we'll talk about what Yale is doing. They're reporting in Yale News that they're changing African-American studies. And I guess they're changing the whole department. We'll talk about that as well. Yes, that Greta is funded directly by Hamas. I got to be honest with you. I stopped paying attention to her after the "How dare you" thing. Like after that, I thought she was hilarious when I saw that. When she leans in and is like, "How dare you?" I lost it. I was like, who is this kid? And that was the most I ever followed her. And then, she was going into all these climate fun things and climate activist programs. And then somebody told me, can I be honest? This is what bothered me. And I don't know if there's any truth. I'm sure some people will tell me in the chat room and send me messages about this. Not that I really want to know, but I'm sure you will. I'm not going to discourage you from sending it. So I do understand that she is on the spectrum. And I'm not saying that to poke fun at her. But I do remember a report that she was very much handled by her father and another individual, that they were, in essence, the brains behind her fame, that they were the ones in charge of her Twitter account and her social media stuff, and kind of just putting her out there as this teenager, castigating the fossil fuel industry. Hence the, "How dare you destroy my future?" All that nonsense. So I heard that that's what it was about. Mike, I can't read that. Even if she does. I don't know if she is. I'm under the impression she is. Let's get a first check of weather and traffic. Talk about saved by the traffic. Let's get to it. Weather's with John Ferrick today. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon. Southbound 91 coming into Hartford. You're looking at delays by exit 37. Again, 34 down to 32 A and B in Hartford. Again, tight down by exit 28 on the Hartford Wethersfield line. And another small delay from 19 down to 17 in Meriden. Northbound 91 moves well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tight up approaching the Boakley Bridge up to 48 Asylum. If you are traveling 84 eastbound, look for slow traffic. 44 Prospect Oakwood down into the tunnel. Looks good east of the river. 291 384 2 eastbound's okay. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. And again from 32 in Berlin. 9 north up to 36 in New Britain. On the westbound side of 84, delays 26 in Cheshire to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound is slowing 26 down into the 691 interchange, and 95 South New Haven slowing 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
This traffic report is being brought to you by Stu Leonard's Farm Fresh Foods.
This week's sale at Stu Leonard's, direct from Amish country. All natural boneless chicken breasts are just $2.49 a pound. Save $1.50. Plus porterhouse steaks are just $9.99 a pound when you use the Stu Leonard's app. See more savings at StuLeonards.com.
WTIC weather.
A pretty nice fall afternoon across the region. Sunshine mixing with clouds. We're up into the mid-60s and partly cloudy tonight. A little bit chilly again. Down to 41, a little bit warmer for tomorrow. Sunshine and a few clouds, breezy, back up to 75. And feeling like summer again over the weekend. Plenty of sunshine for Saturday. We're up to 81, and the warm weather stays with us on Sunday. This is meteorologist John Ferrick in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
4 o'clock, Hartford temperature 64 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. In Waterbury, they have lifted the boil water advisory that was put in effect in the aftermath of the water main break last week. The word came out of the mayor's office about an hour ago. It says a dozen samples came back negative for any bacteria. The advisory was put in effect following the water main burst last Tuesday on Huntingdon Road. Mayor Paul Penarewski thanked residents, businesses, and others for their patience during the period. No votes today on ending the government shutdown on this day, too, but Nicole Killian reports there's still hope on Capitol Hill.
One thing that was notable just yesterday is that there was a large bipartisan group of senators talking on the floor about a potential path forward, but again, these are just kind of preliminary talks, but still somewhat of an encouraging sign in this impasse.
There was an attack on a synagogue in Manchester, England today. Cami McCormick reports.
2 people were killed, 4 others seriously wounded when a man drove a vehicle into the crowd and then started stabbing people before he was shot and killed. It shocked the country.
Everything that's happening right now in the world, I think it just reminds me of 1933 Germany, where people are not being tolerated anymore for being Jews, for being disabled, for being gay, for being immigrants, for being, all these things that we all are, really.
Prime Minister Starmer said the nation must defeat rising anti-Semitism.
A pill capsule found outside an elementary school in Southington is tested positive for fentanyl. The find made on Wednesday was outside Kelly Elementary. Principal contacted families that a school staffer made the discovery on a sidewalk outside the school. They held phys ed classes indoors for the day. As a result, police sent the capsule to be tested, after which it was confirmed to have been fentanyl. 2 Delta regional jets collided on the taxiway at New York's LaGuardia Airport. Transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve reports, although the planes were traveling at a slow speed, a flight attendant was injured.
One of the planes appears to have been traveling around 23 miles an hour based on preliminary flight data. The other plane was taxiing at about 11 miles an hour. So a decent amount of force between these 2 airplanes. Even though they are regional jets, they are still very heavy aircraft.
56th Southington Apple Harvest Festival kicks off for the first of 2 weekends on Friday. The festival among the largest and longest running in the region. Over the 6 days, thousands turn out to enjoy music, entertainment, road races, a parade, fireworks. The festival also known for its famous apple fritters. Coordinator Melissa Kakuza says those who don't want to wait in line to get their hands on one can enter a fritter eating contest.
We have 2 of them. One is for Saturday 4th at 12 and Sunday, October 12th at 1 o'clock. And people just have to go to the stage a little bit before that to sign up. But of course, it's limited how many people can sign up.
Festival gets underway tomorrow at 5, runs until 9. Saturday's hours 11 to 9 p.m. and Sunday from noon to 7. More information available at southington.org/AHF. Wall Street, the Dow up 79, the NASDAQ up 88, and the S&P up 4 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Comcast Business can help turn your into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we are back, and we got some traffic coming up in a minute. We'll talk about that, but let's do the thing.
Save, read, play, read.
Bagel Deli and Bakery. Between rounds. Between rounds. Between rounds.
And congratulations goes out to Sean K. in Killingly. He is today's winner of the Between Rounds Dozen Bagels a Month for 6 months, courtesy of Between Rounds, the Bagel Bakery and Sandwich Cafe, located in South Windsor, Vernon, and Manchester. Now, if you want to win, you got to, of course, go to ReseOnTheRadio.com. You got to fill out all of the documentation. Now, what is the thing that we're going through without sort of having given away any inside baseball stuff, Roland? They get an email once they've won, which, again, you send them out. They immediately get an email, and they've got to fill that out. Is that correct?
It's not any. They're not filling out anything. It's a consent form.
Okay, so
saying, I want to accept this prize. You
Right.
have to send that back first.
Okay, and that, in some cases, if it doesn't show up in your regular mail, you should check your spam folder. And I do, by the way, I inform you before we ever announce it that you've won. I always let everybody know in the morning. So when you get my email, wait for the second one, which usually happens about 11, 12 o'clock or sometime during the day. Then check once your name has been. If you got an email from me, you should be looking for that email in your spam folder for your consent. So those are the two things that you should be looking out for. Make sure that you get that consent so that it goes through. We've had some, not a lot, but some people, I would say it's at least maybe 2 to 3% of people who miss that little portion of it. So, just be careful and realize that if you haven't seen that other form, of course, get in touch with me. You'll have my email address, and I send it to you. And everybody who sent it to me, we've actually fixed. So those are the things that you need to remember. So I want to make sure that we do. But like I said, if you want to win, you got to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. Fill out the form. Make sure you give your birthday. Make sure you give your telephone number. And also, you must live in the state of Connecticut, and you cannot have won within the last 6 months. So when we enter your name, that's it. You're in, and you can then try again 6 months later. If you haven't won lately, and you've already put in, you haven't been, and you might be sort of far down the list, apply again so I can get an opportunity to see you. But you got to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com in order to do that. Check out the other stuff that's there. Substack is there. You can read some of the articles that I've done if you haven't. And you can also check out this show and plenty of other stuff. I mean, we're talking about like 700 hours of Reese on the radio. I know a guy who was listening to the stuff all the way in Turkey. Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. I've got people listening to you and me all over the globe. Australia's blowing up right now.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
My stepdaughter lived in Australia for about 3 years.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got married out there.
She was in school. She was going into her senior year, and she studied abroad for a year, and she was supposed to come back like in June, and it was like August. We're like, Meg, you got to get home to finish your senior year.
Well,
we played a lot of money here. You got to finish this off here.
Mine went there to actually to work as teaching kids English as a second language, and people going, it's Australia. I'm like, they have foreigners there too. And
absolutely.
she met her husband there. And
Wow, that's
they
wild.
got married. Yeah. Well, they had divorced. It doesn't not all that great of a story.
Well, my stepdaughter lived in Tasmania. So
wow.
She loved it there.
Wow.
She loved it. She didn't want to leave.
Yeah,
She
I hear
wanted
that.
to come home. I said, Meg, you got to come home and finish this. You got your senior year to do here. So she finally came home, thank goodness, and finished up. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, South 91, you're looking at some slow traffic, 33 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28. More slow traffic, 19 down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. If you're on the northbound side of I-91, looks pretty good. Just a little tap of the brakes up by the Route 9 interchange, exit 22 after that. Moving well, Hartford up into Windsor. If you're westbound 84, slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound's tied up, 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. 291 through 84, okay. 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing, Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. And again, 9 northbound slowing, 32 in Berlin up to 36 in New Britain. Westbound 84 is tight, 26 in Cheshire to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound's a little slow as you move 26 down into the 691 interchange, and 95 South New Haven is tight, 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by NJM Insurance Group.
Why is NJM Insurance silent in an industry full of catchy jingles? And how do they do what's right when things go wrong? Tune into Baffling Mysteries to find out.
This fictional podcast is brought to you by NJM. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
WTIC weather.
A pretty nice autumn afternoon out there. We'll have a mixture of clouds and sunshine the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures in the 60s. Tonight, partly cloudy. A little bit chilly again, down into the 30s in most outlying spots. 41 in the city, and then we'll have sunshine mixing with some clouds for tomorrow. Breezy, a little bit warmer. We're back up to 75, and then it's going to feel like summer over the weekend again. Plenty of sunshine Saturday, up to 81, and much of the same for Sunday. Right now, it's 62 in Farmington, 66 Wallingford, and 63 in Hartford. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dreaming of a perfect smile? At Columbia Dental, our orthodontic experts specialize in braces and clear aligners like Invisalign. Get the smile you've always dreamed of. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic a part of your daily wellness routine.
Silverman, is it true that the closer you get to the center of Australia, we see temperatures in excess of 150 degrees?
Connecticut healthy for nearly 25 years. ProHealth accepts Husky Medicaid, Medicare, TRICARE, and most major insurances. For trusted local care for your whole family, call 1-855-CT-MD-411 or visit ProHealthMD.com.
When you drive around and look at the homes in your area, you'll see all those roofs with ugly algae streaks. Those roofs look old before their time. But with Atlas Roofing, featuring Scotchgard Protector, your roof stays beautiful, clean, and streak-free. It's the Peter L. Brown Company's 65th anniversary, and we would like you to get a roof that looks great year after year. For a free estimate for roofing, siding, windows, and doors, go to peterlbrown.com.
Peter L. Brown, we do it right the first time.
1 minute.
Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Yeah, it's just one of them days. Just one of those days. Who am I kidding? It's Thursday.
Negro nonsense. Negro nonsense. Negro nonsense.
I'm sorry. That was the wrong one. I cannot believe that I didn't play the right one. Let's try it again.
Negro nonsense.
How dare you?
Negro nonsense.
How dare you?
Negro nonsense.
How dare you?
So yesterday I started off the program by talking about this deal with Windsor High School. And the reason why I was so dismayed by what took place there was that I was under the impression that a good guy was trying to do something good for the kids at a high school. And you hear a story like that and you want to help. I'm the type of person where I hear a person's story and I'm listening to it and it seems like, okay, the guy seems like good faith, you know, I'm taking him at his word, listening to what he had to say. And some things struck me as odd. You know, I'm just kind of using my common sense, but I'm listening. I didn't immediately dismiss him. I didn't charge at him. I was like, but wait, this doesn't sound right. Why are you doing this? I didn't. I just listened. And I said to him, look, if there's anything, let's see if we can schedule something for Wednesday. But you know what? I got to do my job, and I got to talk to the people at the school, get their side of the story. Once I do that, I'll get back in touch with you. Then we'll hash everything out from what I've been able to get or gather from the opposite side, talk to you off the air, and sort of break down, okay, they told me this doesn't seem right, you told me that. Let's hash that out before we get on the air. I don't want you looking like a fool. Damn sure don't want me looking like a fool. And I don't want to mischaracterize the stance of the school, the people you have the problem with. Nor do I want to have a problem with the coach that you appear to have a problem with. Now, again, I'm not going to suggest what Mr. Baker said about the coach. I'm not even going to tell. But I couldn't and wouldn't say that anyway. I would bring that to the coach and say, this is what you've been accused of. That you are not doing this, not doing that, but are doing this, that, and the third. What's your response? That's the way I would deal with it. It's unsubstantiated hearing it from the person who is the plaintiff, so to speak. I'm using that term loosely. So then I have a phone call with someone who is close to all of it, and then I get the information directly from the superintendent of schools that Windsor is associated with, and then I did yesterday's opening monologue. I do that monologue, I break the whole thing down. What the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference said, who they are, them being a governing body of anyone who volunteers or works as it associates with children, especially in the football field. Okay? I laid that out. What I didn't like was that none of that information was told to me. And then when I tried to have a conversation about that information, what I got was a bunch of bull. Whatever was going on in 2021 and 2023 does not stand in 2025. That's the most important thing. I can't hash out 2021 and 2023. And from what I understand, the person whom Mr. Baker was dealing with no longer works in the school district. So there's a new sheriff in town. Rules apply, and they are following the letter of the law. And they are within their rights to tell anyone you can't be here volunteering with these children without the expressed consent of the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference and the school. They have rules themselves. They went on to say other things that, again, I am not repeating because, again, my objective is not to disparage Mr. Baker. My only grievance is with the fact that what he said to me was a lie. And again, like I said, I am here to help you, but I'm not here to help you lie. And what I was told were lies. And that was the school is not forwarding game film of these athletes to the schools. That is categorically untrue. It is a fact that they are doing that. This is a football program. Parents came to me. They told me. Parents who've played against the team have spoken to me and told me, this is not a football team. This is a program. Now, for those of you who don't understand that terminology, what that means is that they really invest in this school. It's so good at what it does, it puts all of its eggs in that basket. The kids more than likely will end up in a D1 program, and that D1 program will more than likely advance those kids to the NFL. And Windsor High School has the trophies. They have the memorabilia. They have the professional jerseys, even Mr. Baker's, inside their school. They celebrate their kids who make it to the NFL through this program. That's who they are. And it is irrefutable. No one can argue with what I said in my opening monologue yesterday about this. I'm repeating it today off the top of my head, as was yesterday's monologue. It was based on all the information that I'd gathered. Then I got a phone call. No, it wasn't really a phone call. I got a message on Facebook. An individual by the name of Malik O. I will not give his last name. But he is quite popular. And he is well known to the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference. They know who he is. And I will have a conversation with Glenn Lungarini, who is the executive director of the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference, tomorrow, to discuss my conversation with Mr. Malik O, who at first tried to suggest to me that there is no such thing as the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference. Suggested to me that the rightful owner of the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference is Malik O, and they have no say-so as to where Mr. Baker can work inside that school. The school has no jurisdiction to stop Mr. Baker, nor does the CIAS. I'm sorry, what was that? No, you're cutting off.
CIAC.
What did I say? CIAC? Oh, CIAC. Goodness gracious. Thank you. CIAC. Why did I say CIAS? I have no idea. Thank you. CIAC. My apologies. And anyway, so that they don't exist, that they don't govern anything, according to Malik O. So we did a little bit of research. We found out that Malik O is indeed online saying that he is the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference. Interesting. Glenn Lungarini disputes that, and in fact, has done so legally. But let me get to the phone call. So after I get this mention that you don't know the true story, I listened to your program, I said, okay, fine. I start the conversation by saying, what do you got? What did I miss? Well, Mr. Malik began to tell me that I defamed his friend, or the way at least he described it, his client. That what I said about him was a lie. Interesting. And then went on to say what I've already revealed, that the CIAC doesn't exist. They have no right to tell him that he can't be there, that the school is lying about the CIAC and what it is that they are allowed to govern at the school. So I asked who's in charge of governing what people can and cannot do on their grounds. He went on to tell me nobody. I said, really? The school can't even say who can be on their property? They have no right, he said. So then I knew I was in a dark place. I knew I was dealing with someone who clearly didn't know what they were talking about. And so I asked him one question that threw everything off the rails. So are you telling me that Mr. Baker can go into the locker room of the school, be on the field, and communicate with players outside of the coaches and the administration's advice? He said, no, but. And I went, well, let's make sure we get this right. Did you hear my question? He began to get irate, started raising his voice. And I said, I don't know who you're yelling at, and I don't care what your beef is. But if this is a professional conversation, you need to calm down. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Well, you won't let me speak. And I'm going to answer my question. Who can tell Mr. Baker what and what not to do? You're telling me no one can? The school doesn't have any rights? He could do whatever he wants. He starts screaming and hollering and blah, 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 blah. It gets worse and worse and worse. And then the entire conversation becomes ghetto. And when I say ghetto, he starts referring to me as a Sambu. Not Sambo, a Sambu. And then I knew what I was dealing with. He didn't even know how to pronounce the right racial slur. I'm surprised he got the N-word right, but he did. He called me a house N-word and everything under the sun because he didn't like my reporting on the story. He went on to go, Mr. Baker has done more things for this community than you've done in your entire life. Okay, I guess so. You don't know me from a hole in the ground. Yesterday was probably the first time you've ever listened to my program, but you know everything about what I've ever done in my life. Okay, whatever, that's no problem. And I said, sir, what are you trying to accomplish here? I mean, what is all of this supposed to accomplish? Isn't this guy a friend of yours? Do you think that this is productive? I don't care. And he went on to fly a bunch of F-bombs at me and this and that. And then I said, okay, so what do we do now? And he then says, I'm going to go and blank your mother, he says. Which made me open up my eyes and go, that's interesting. I didn't know that he would be into 76-year-olds, but whatever. I mean, that's his kink. That's, I can deal with that. I mean, but it was going off the rails, and then it was Sambu and House Negro and Sambu. It went on and on and on and on and on, and I went, I don't really have to take this phone call, but I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. And he didn't have, he just didn't want to address that. He wanted to continue to insult me. And so I then told him, good luck on your press conference. I hope it works out for you. I don't think that you guys are going to get very far. But if you're the type of people who are representing him, Mr. Baker has horrible representation. Now, I know the young man is listening now, and I don't know anything about him. But let me make one thing abundantly clear. I hope you don't think that you intimidated anybody with that nonsense. You only have one option because you're a petty thug. You're a savage. Make sure you heard me, because I know you're looking in my face right now. You're a savage. And I know how savages behave. So I'll be expecting you. Otherwise, you'll run and hide and stay in your little hole in New York. Don't come up to Connecticut. Run and hide. Because I'm going to do a lot of exposing of you. I'm being nice today, but if I were you, I'd stay in hiding. And it ain't about what you said about my mama. It's the audacity to talk to me like you think you were going to intimidate somebody. I told you, I await the hate. I beg for it. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. And if you are making your way into downtown Hartford right now, look for delays southbound 91 from 33 down to 32 A and B. Again, 27 to 28. More slow traffic as you move down by exit 20, just after 20 down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Northbound 91 slowing 21 to 22. Look out for an accident by the Route 9 interchange. After that, moving well, Hartford up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up just after 56 out to 47. Sigourney 84 eastbound locked up 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 384 okay, 2 westbound slowing in East Hartford. 1D up to the 84 West merge. 9 northbound tight in Middletown Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. If you're traveling 691 westbound, some slow traffic as you move up on exit 7 in Cheshire. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. Again, 84 eastbound tight 26 down to the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 in Waterbury running slow from 26 up to the Mixmaster. 84 westbound in Farmington slowing 37 to 33 in the 72 interchange in Plainville. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by Staples.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. NC11-1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
WTIC weather.
Pretty nice fall afternoon across the region. Sunshine mixing with clouds. We're up into the mid-60s and partly cloudy tonight. A little bit chilly again. Down to 41, a little bit warmer for tomorrow. Sunshine and a few clouds, breezy, back up to 75. And feeling like summer again over the weekend. Plenty of sunshine for Saturday. We're up to 81, and the warm weather stays with us on Sunday. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 4:30, Hartford temperature, 64 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The boil water advisory in Waterbury has been lifted. Repairs were made to the water main that broke last week. That caused all the trouble. They had to do some additional testing on the water after it came back with some bacteria in about a dozen samples. In Hamden, police have released the name of the woman who was killed in a crash last month, along with her 7-year-old son. Brandy Lowry was 40. The crash occurred September 27th on Davis Street. The boy's name was not released by police. Mayoral debate tonight in New Britain. The Democratic State Representative Bobby Sanchez will square off against Republican Alderwoman Cheryl Baloyne Saavedra. They are vying to replace Aaron Stewart, who opted not to run for re-election. That debate gets underway 6 p.m. from New Britain Public Library. Southington school officials say a staffer at Kelly Elementary discovered a broken fentanyl capsule on Wednesday on a sidewalk outside the school. The police took the capsule to have it tested, after which it came back positive for fentanyl. They're still trying to determine how that was found. British police have declared that a deadly rampage at a synagogue that killed 2 people on the holiest day of the Jewish year was a terror attack. The Metropolitan Police Commissioner says the assailant was killed by officers. 2 suspects are under arrest. President Trump has used the government to shut down to reshape the federal workforce. The president says he's meeting today with the budget director to discuss potential spending cuts. No votes on when it ends today, but representatives from both parties say they are talking. Wall Street, the Dow finished up 78 points today. The Nasdaq gained 88. S&P was up 4 points. Yanks and Red Sox, Game 3 of the wild card round at the stadium tonight. We take air with the pregame here at 7:08. First pitch about an hour later. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Until 11/1, select models only.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan. They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Let me see. I've got to get into this William Tong joining the fray about sewage. You might remember I talked about that last week. We've got that story also coming up. A new report out of our friends from the Connecticut Inside Investigator about the use of state vehicles that have been abused. We got to talk about that because that story is crazy. You already know about the story about that kid who used one car to go everywhere from like the Dave Matthews. By the way, okay, I'm not, because I know I'm going to alienate a couple of people if I even say it. But he took the company car to a Dave Matthews Band concert. I don't want to start. I don't want to go down that road because some people are going to be offended if I say it. So I'm not going to say it. Anyway, so that happened, and there was a whole bunch of other abuse that happened with the state vehicles. We've got that story coming up as well. Don't forget, we've also got this scandal with a bunch of state money that went to all of these businesses and other these nonprofits, and it turns out that there was money going here, there, and everywhere. We've got to break that down as well. And it's I don't know. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to get into before we get out of here. Oh yes, the Netflix scandal. Got to talk about that as well with people who are jumping ship from Netflix. If you haven't heard that story, we'll break that down for you in Hollywood News coming up. Someone in the chat room says, Reese can say whatever he wants, but it does not seem that calling a segment of your show Negro Nonsense is 2025 is somewhat backwards. And also said that no one who calls the show is black. Now, Bob, I only say this because, and maybe I should do this for Bob's own good. See, Bob only shows up on Thursday for Negro Nonsense so that he can complain about it. It's appointment oppression for Bob. So Bob is sitting around through his entire day. Hey, John. Hey, John, how are you? Hey, I'm doing great. Going to work, having a good time. And then Thursday comes around and he wakes up and he goes, it's Thursday. Reese is doing Negro Nonsense. Okay, got to set my calendar and alarm clock. So then he could come on the program and be aggrieved and then go into the chat room and say, I can't believe you do it. Do you know that's the reason why Greta saying, how dare you? That's an homage. That is for Bob. How dare you? That's Bob. It's not Greta. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into downtown Hartford right now and you're on the southbound side of I-91, look for some slow traffic as you move 33 down to 32A and B. Slow traffic again, 27 to 28. And you're sluggish again, approaching 19 down to 17 for the Wilbercross Parkway. Northbound 91, you got delays 20 to 21. Middletown into Cromwell. After that, easy ride Hartford up into Windsor. Westbound 84 running slow just after 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush. 84 eastbound slowing 46 into the tunnel. 291 through 84 okay. 2 westbound slowing 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 9 northbound delays Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. Again, slow traffic from 32 up to 34 in New Britain on 9 north. Westbound 84, you'll see delays from exit 37 in Farmington out to 33 in the 72 interchange. Again, delays 26 in Cheshire up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound in Cheshire slowing 26 down to the 691 interchange. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
This report is brought to you by Moderna.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
WTIC weather.
Levels of clouds and sun the rest of the afternoon. A little bit on the cool side. Temperatures in the 60s. We'll have a partly cloudy sky for tonight. Again, a little bit chilly, down to 41. Then for tomorrow, a little bit warmer. Sunshine, a few clouds. Breezy up to 75. And then mostly clear tomorrow night, down to 47. Very warm for the weekend. Saturday, sunny. We're up into the low 80s and pretty much the same story on Sunday. Right now, it's 62 in Manchester, 62 in Bristol, and it's 63 in Hartford. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
Never liked braces? Invisalign is an alternative that may be right for you. It's removable, more comfortable, and reduces the risk of developing cavities and gum disease. Get your dream smile discreetly and easily. Call Columbia Dental at 860-645-0111.
Tune in to WTIC News Talk 1080 for Healthy Rounds, Saturday mornings 11 till noon. Learn from the top experts about the latest medical news and call in with your questions. Healthy Rounds, sponsored by Hartford Healthcare, Saturday mornings 11 till noon on WTIC News Talk 1080 and WTIC.com.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic a part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, ShopRite, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
The dog days of summer are fading quickly. Hurry to get this limited time preseason offer. Call ALO Home Services today and take advantage of their $99 heating system check special. Prevent costly and inconvenient breakdowns backed by a worry-free no breakdown guarantee. Call, click, or text today and say hello ALO, licensed for safety. HIC 628926, P10277688, S10413487, D10401465, S33086999, SM3004646, E1185643.
You're listening to Leaf Filter. The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
The NAACP calls him, whoa, I don't think I'm allowed to read this. It's Reese on the Radio. Let's just say some people are not fans. On News Talk 1080, WTIC.
All right, let's get into some phones while we're at it. Davis in Windsor, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Reese.
What's up?
Good. Hey, earlier you were talking about the Medicaid laws.
Yeah.
You were reading from different states, right?
Yes.
When some of this debate was going on in Connecticut, I looked into it a bit, and those benefits, those state laws that you cited in Rhode Island and North Carolina and Minnesota, those Medicaid programs are not funded by the federal government. And as a matter of fact, there was a law passed in 1996 called the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Act.
Okay.
That established that undocumented immigrants are ineligible for most federal benefits, including full Medicaid coverage. Now, nobody repealed that law.
Okay.
Those laws are funded by taxpayers, but they're funded by state taxpayers.
Okay. No. I'm not even going to dispute what you just said. I'm only going to ask one question, and then we can clarify whether either I'm wrong or I'm right on this issue. Okay? Does the state get federal dollars towards Medicaid? Any state, yes or no?
They do.
Okay.
But here's the rub.
Okay.
While some states use their own funds, Medicaid, the federal law requires that the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services has oversight to ensure that the federal Medicaid dollars are not improperly used for those unauthorized immigrants.
And you would call that an exchange under that circumstance, right? Like, in other words, if it was, let's say if I had the state of Reese and I had what's called a Medicaid program for illegals, I would call it Reese Aid. But it has no federal dollars involved in it, just state taxpayers' dollars. Is that what you're suggesting?
No, I'm not suggesting it. That's what the law says.
Actually, you're wrong. I looked into it. No, you're 100% wrong. I'll put it to you this way. It's like water in a pool coming from the state and coming from the federal government. It's just a pool of money. It's like how Planned Parenthood never, ever shows its books because they never tell you exactly what the money that they get from the federal government is used. They never show it. They don't have to. It's the same thing with Medicaid. The state, and I've looked at the numbers, some of the funding that goes into Medicaid from the federal government is almost 90% of the money that the state gets from the federal government. There's also other things that goes in as far as Medicaid is concerned. There's ACA funding, and that's the Affordable Care Act. That money is all federal. Do you want to know how much of that is in the coffers of the state? In some cases, up to 90%. I checked them. I checked all of them.
That could be true.
Oh, no, it is true.
It probably is true, okay? But that money cannot be used for the programs for illegal immigrants.
Who can, okay, how do you audit that?
Well, they have the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and I'm sure Trump has plenty of auditors that
Yes.
audit these things.
He
And
does
they're
have
supposed
plenty
to
of
audit
auditors, but the law, this is what I'm suggesting to you. So what Donald Trump did in the big, beautiful bill was to carve that out so you couldn't even wiggle room your way into giving those dollars, federal or otherwise, to those people. And it doesn't matter whether or not they're DACA kids. It doesn't matter whether or not they're parolees, whether or not they don't, they have a status to stay in the country, even though they're undocumented. What the big, beautiful bill said not a dime goes to any of them. The thing that they claimed that was actually happening. And what turns out is, and that's what I'm saying, you got to look at the way in which the Democrats are framing this. They're saying, well, does it say that other programs can give it to people who have status to stay or anything like that? It's like, yeah, but those aren't illegals. No, yes, they are. They're just temporary stays. That money is going to people who are undocumented. And undocumented, by any definition, is illegal. Regardless of this idea that they're permitted to stay, they're still illegals. And the worst part about it is this part about the audit that you tried to dispute. Yes, the government does have the audit, but here's the problem. Ask the state to give a number of how much of the money has actually gone to illegals, and guess what they'll tell you? We don't have those numbers because we don't ask.
Well, I can't speak to what the audits show, to be honest with you.
I know.
But,
no one can because they won't give it to them. They won't give it to us.
Deciding what the law says, and it's currently written in the law, and that those programs that you mentioned that are coming up in 27 or whatever the dates are, that these states are going to implement, and that money is supposed to be state money only.
Yeah, but you notice that money is going to the hospital and not to the patient?
It doesn't matter. It can't. The only way hospitals can treat is if it's an emergency, and that's required by law also.
Okay, so emergency aid has to be paid for, right?
It has to be, but for anybody.
But exactly, it has to be paid for by. Now, look, let's say you don't have, like, you only give Medicaid to an average citizen, right? You give it to a documented American citizen. That is the only money it's going to. Let's say we get the actual law to perform the way it was always drawn out to be, and the illegals are going into the hospital. Pregnant illegal comes into the hospital to have birth. Now, the hospital cannot turn her away if she's giving birth. They bring her, of course, into the emergency room or get into the paternity room, and she will have the baby, and they will give her, put the baby in an ICU, a bin if it's needed, or give them all the care and that whole 9 yards, and she'll stay in the hospital for days until she's allowed to leave and the baby's healthy and they're all healthy. They can send her a bill that she eventually will not pay. It doesn't matter if Medicaid never goes to her. Guess how the hospital, and you know this, how does the hospital?
Listen, I'm not disputing that.
Okay.
And what's going to happen as the big beautiful bill kicks in and premiums go up and people that can't afford to afford health insurance right now without the subsidies that are coming.
What helps? What subsidies? Wait. What health care will they not be able to afford? What's the name of it?
Well, the credits, the tax credits that came through.
Yeah, but
on the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, there you go.
And say the premiums go up. Now they're not going to be able to pay the premiums, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen? They're going to go to the hospital to be treated, and they're going to be treated.
Who's going to go to the hospital and be treated?
people that can't afford health insurance right now.
Well,
that aren't going to be able to afford health insurance. They'll end up going to the hospital to get treated, just like they do now.
yes, no, nothing. I don't think anything changes. I don't think anything changes at all. But I think the problem was, and look, let's use the California model. Here's a program that they had doled out, and as far as Gavin Newsom, he was so brilliant and said, look, this is only going to cost $3 billion to make sure that we give affordable health care to every person in the country, in the state, even undocumented people. And when you tell people that it's free, what happens? Everybody comes. And it ends up ballooning into close to $12 billion in 3 years. It ballooned to $12 million, quadrupled. And what did he say immediately afterwards? It's unsustainable. That's the problem. And I'll even use those states, as you started this conversation about, right? Those states, they're not using federal funds. They're only using state funds. Well, here's my question to you, if that's the case. What happens when the Medicaid for just the state funds runs out? Does that federal money just sit there because we got to make sure we don't give them to illegals, or do they use it?
No, what's going to happen is the taxes are going to go up, or insurance premiums are going to go up. The hospitals are going to be covered somehow.
But what I'm saying, what happens to the money that the federal government gave that is not allowed? Because remember what you're saying here. You're saying that federal money
it's not allowed. It comes out of the
okay,
state.
I'm just saying, the federal money is sitting there in the coffers. Everybody else is covered through the state funds. What happens with the federal money? It goes where?
The federal money is only matched when they put the bills in. The federal money isn't just granted.
No, I agree with you. But my argument is this, and maybe I'm not being as plain Jane as I need to be. So what I'm suggesting to you is this. Every state is allocated a certain amount of money based upon the people who have Medicare coverage in the state. The state already knows, or the federal government already knows who's on Medicaid. But if you
it's based on income. So
right, exactly.
People in Alabama or Mississippi are getting more money in Louisiana.
Exactly.
Connecticut.
Exactly. So they are meeting the need of people who are on Medicaid. They know if you are giving that Medicaid option to illegals, those people are not on the rolls, right? Those people cannot be identified. They're undocumented. So that extra money is going to end up going to those folks. If those folks have freebies, if those folks have the ability to use that, who, by the way, every hospital will tell you, every clinic will tell you who uses that Medicaid benefit more than anyone else. And they will tell you cost overruns are implemented because of the use by illegals. Every hospital will tell you that.
You know what? I don't know. I haven't read that.
Okay.
I don't believe that it's the majority, but I could be wrong.
Oh, it is. Every hospital says that the reason why they raise rates is because they're losing money because they were overrun in emergency rooms by illegals. It's the reason why wait times are the way that they are, and the cost is through the roof.
I would bet you that there's more people that are legal using those emergency room benefits than illegal.
Okay, I'll go one step further, and this is probably more true. Most people don't go to emergency rooms unless it is dire. Like, rarely do people go in for a tummy ache. But
yeah, you know what? You ever been in an emergency room at Hartford Hospital?
Only once.
Go in there and sit down and see how many of those people are out.
Oh yeah, no. I've been to enough hospitals to know when my wife tells me I think we got to go to a hospital, I dread it, Dave, because I know it's going to be. It is. Oh boy, it's a magnitude of different people in there. But yeah, I've been in there, and it's one of the places I dread. It's the one waiting room I never want to be a part of.
Well, that's right. And most people that aren't insured, that's where they end up. That's where they go for their treatment.
That's true. Absolutely, 100%. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Let me get to Dan real quick. Hey, Dan.
What's up, Reese?
What's up, boss?
Not much. Hey, your buddy there that doesn't like your Negro nonsense. Let's make it like equal opportunity now, and I've got a couple titles for a couple that you can go with.
Okay, we're going to have at it.
You can either go with Whitey Wackiness.
I like that.
Hold on. Honky Hooligans.
Okay.
Or my favorite, cracker craziness.
All right. Are you saying that would sort of even the playing field and people wouldn't feel so isolated?
Right.
Okay.
That gets the black community and the white community into it, and any other community that wants to be into it can be added in also as we go along.
Yes. So that's right. It'll be equal opportunity nonsense. You know what? I will definitely consider it just so they can get off my back about it. Okay?
There you go.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you, sir. Hey, Kim, how are you, Kim? What's going on?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Reese?
I'm right. By the way, I need to tell you, I don't want to talk about it any further, but I got in trouble because of you once. You know that?
Is that because I say a certain name?
No. You had said something. I don't even remember what it was. But when I say I got in trouble, I'm totally being tongue in cheek. But it was about a conversation that you and I had, and then somebody had gotten offended. I didn't see anything wrong when I listened to it. I was like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But you know how people get. They get a little sensitive. You know, if you talk about certain things that are considered taboo, it immediately becomes, well, I didn't like the way that was said. And then that became a deal. And I'm like, whatever. So nonetheless, I always wanted to let you know this because it happened like months ago. Like, in fact, I think it happened like a year ago. And I wanted to mention it.
Truth can be offensive at times, you know.
It is. But I just wanted to let you know that you had created some controversy. So that was
maybe
just...
I'll talk about more controversy. But I have two quick topics. One is about Charlie Kirk, and the other is related to Charlie Kirk.
Can you do it in less than a minute?
Oh, probably not.
Okay, so here's what I'll do. Hold on for me. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'll bring it back on the other half because I love a good Charlie Kirk story. Because I don't want anybody to forget that man. So give me a second. I'm going to put you on hold, and then I'll bring you back in on the top of the other hour, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, no problem, of course. We'll talk to Kim in the next hour about that. I don't have time to take Rob, unfortunately. Let me see. Oh, my God, Reese. Have been saying the same thing for years. Just even it out. Florida itself will give you plenty of stories. Yes, I could totally do Florida man stuff till my eyes bleed, Matt. Without a doubt. Those stories are great. When he said the thing about crazy, or was it wacky whites or whatever it was, I immediately started thinking of Little Rock, Arkansas, you know, where Bill Clinton's from. I remember the first documentary I saw about the gangs in Little Rock, Arkansas. And there were these really pale white kids with their pants down and their underwear showing, throwing up gang signs. I was like, what alternative universe is this? It's like Bizarro World. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. John Ferrick has got weather. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Traffic Center. How we doing, Mark?
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, right now, overall, we're doing okay. We do have an accident southbound 91. That's down in Rocky Hill. So got delays 35 in Windsor, and again, 33 down to 32 A and B. And you'll slow again down by exit 28 Hartford Weathersfield line. Then you come back into some more stop and go 26 down to just prior to 24. An accident that was on the left shoulder has been moved over to the right shoulder. Northbound 91 looks overall pretty good. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up. 56 Governor Street out to 44 Prospect Oakwood. Look out for some slow traffic 84 westbound at 39A. If you're getting off onto Route 9 southbound, an accident reported on that ramp. Also delays again from 37 in Windsor out to 33 in the 72 interchange in Plainville. 84 eastbound locked up about a half mile before 46th Avenue to the Bulkley Bridge. 9 northbound slows Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. Again, 9 northbound slowing 32 to 34 in New Britain. Westbound 84 is tied up in Cheshire. 26 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury, and 84 eastbound in Cheshire slows 26 down to the 691 interchange. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by the CT Insider. Explore more at ctinsider.com.
There's more to Connecticut with CT Insider, a hometown behind every headline. With every issue, investigation, or interview, there's more when you're following from the inside. Visit ctinsider.com for more.
WTIC weather.
Pretty nice fall afternoon across the region. Sunshine mixing with clouds. We're up into the mid-60s and partly cloudy tonight. A little bit chilly again. Down to 41, a little bit warmer for tomorrow. Sunshine and a few clouds, breezy, back up to 75. And feeling like summer again over the weekend. Plenty of sunshine for Saturday. We're up to 81, and the warm weather stays with us on Sunday. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
It's 5 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. We have partly sunny skies in Hartford, temperature of 63 degrees. A school staffer at Kelly Elementary School in Southington discovered a pill capsule that tested positive for the opioid fentanyl. The find was made Wednesday on a sidewalk outside the school. Police searched the grounds inside and out using canines, but no other suspicious substances were discovered. The news unnerved Elisa Cassidy. Her 9-year-old son is a student at Kelly.
It's uncomfortable, and you don't know the right things to say to a 9-year-old. I was kind of brutally honest with him and, just said, listen, this stuff is bad. It, could potentially kill somebody, and, it's not worth taking a risk. If you find something on the ground, you have to tell somebody.
Audio from WFSB. The school's principal is urging parents to talk to their kids about dangerous substances. The investigation is ongoing into where the fentanyl came from. A boil water order has been lifted for the sections of Waterbury impacted by last week's Huntington Avenue water main break. Testing for total coliform came back negative, so the tap water is safe to use. Repairs on the busted line continue, but Mayor Paul Pernerewski explains there's a working bypass line that goes around it.
The water is flowing into the city. There are 2 gates that were put in to bypass where the break is, and the bypass line is working. So that's feeding water to the city. Everyone should have full water pressure.
Now, many of the water pipes around Waterbury are 100 years old or more. The mayor says some are being replaced. Day 2 of the partial shutdown of the federal government. Democrats say it'll impact the jobs report scheduled to be released tomorrow. And they say they're trying to stop a GOP spending plan that could raise health care costs for many Americans. A number of program managers that rely on government funding to help vulnerable Americans are concerned about the shutdown, and that includes special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children, the WIC program. Nell Menifee-Libby is a senior policy manager with the National WIC Association, says she's got concerns.
We know that the folks at the Department of Agriculture are doing everything that they can to shore up WIC in states in the short term, but we anticipate that only is going to get us 1 to 2 weeks of normal program operations before we'll start to see disruptions.
And Democrats and Republicans on the Hill have been talking, so there's some good news with that. President Trump says the U.S. is now at war with drug cartels. Stacey Lynn reports.
President Trump has determined that the United States is engaged in a formal armed conflict with drug cartels. In a confidential notice to Congress viewed by CBS News, the president also declared drug cartels are unlawful combatants. Under the new determination, the military strikes on boats in the Caribbean last month could be argued as legal because under international law, a country can lawfully kill enemy combatants even when they do not pose a threat. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
European leaders trying to counter Russia's aggressive drone behavior.
Denmark's prime minister opened the meeting.
Russia will not stop until they are forced to do so. And they are a threat, not only to Ukraine, but to all of us.
She said peace with Russia can only be achieved through strength.
We have to make our common Europe so strong that war against us becomes unthinkable.
And for these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Attention taxpayers.
1 minute.
$5,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000. And they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority Tax Relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584.
Priority Tax Relief. The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we are back, and you know what? Let's do it. It's Hollywood News with your correspondent, Reese on the Radio. All the glamour, all the glare. It's Reese on the Radio. You may have heard this, but there are millions, and I mean millions of people who are pretty much unsubscribing to Netflix. Now, look, I got to admit, I can't do it because I'm in this business, and whatever Netflix is doing, I got to watch it. I got to find out what's going on, if something's going on. I can't, but I understand a lot of you are. And the reason why is because Netflix has now gone the way of Disney. Turns out that there's a lot of children's programming on the Netflix Kids app that have been talking about transgenderism in its programming. Now, I wouldn't have paid attention to this if it was one or maybe even two shows, but it turns out it's a lot of shows. And one caught my attention that got me so angry, and it's a Transformers show that is talking about being non-binary. Talk about irony. Yes, if you haven't heard it, you got to look it up. It's an insane story. But yes, of course, Netflix would have a Transformers series talking about transgenderism and non-binary. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw it, and I went, what? But it is appropriate. No, not appropriate in a sense for kids. It's just appropriate that they would do it with Transformers and think that it was okay. I'm just saying, it's funny, it's great. The fact that no one's made a joke about it has completely blown my mind. That it is the perfect joke. But Netflix is really hemorrhaging. Its stock prices is plummeting. It's going way, way down. It's really, really bad. So it's unfortunate, but that's where it is right now. And that's your Hollywood news. Mark Christopher's about to get into traffic with the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, I meant to ask you, are you familiar with Melba Moore? Because I know you love music. Are you familiar with her?
Melba Moore, R&B singer, right?
Yes, correct. And she's got a book out. And she's going to be on the program on Tuesday to talk about that book and to talk about her career. I didn't know this. Back in 1972, Melba Moore had a variety show similar to like Smothers Brothers did with
Really?
Yeah, she had her own. She and I got to find out who the other guy was, but she and another gentleman did what was considered then the first black variety show on television back in 1972. I did not know that about her.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, so we'll talk to her about that on Tuesday to break that down. But Melba Moore on the program on Tuesday.
Very cool. Can't wait to hear it. If you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, the southbound side of I-91, look for delays from exit 33 down to 32A and B, and again, some slow traffic as you move from exit 28 down to 25 S and N. We had an earlier accident on the right shoulder down by 24. It looks like that's out of there now. Northbound 91, that looks good as you move Cromwell through downtown up into the Windsor exits. Westbound 84 slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 44 Prospect Oakwood. 84 eastbound's a little slow, about a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. 291 eastbound slowing from I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. 2 eastbound's a little tight by exit 3 in in East Hartford. 9 northbound slowing, Middletown Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound in Farmington got delays 37 Finneman Road out to exit 33 for the 72 interchange in Plainville. Westbound 84 in Cheshire slowing 26 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. And if you're northbound on the Wilbur Cross Parkway, look out for some slow traffic now as you move up from exit 62. Looks like we have an accident up by exit 64B on the Parkway in Meriden, so look out for that. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
This traffic report is being brought to you by Stu Leonard's Farm Fresh Foods.
This week's sale at Stu Leonard's, direct from Amish country. All natural boneless chicken breasts are just $2.49 a pound. Save $1.50. Plus porterhouse steaks are just $9.99 a pound when you use the Stu Leonard's app. See more savings at StuLeonards.com.
WTIC weather.
Pretty nice out there this afternoon. We'll have a partly cloudy sky for tonight. A little bit on the chilly side again. Down to 41. We'll have 30s, though, in most outlying spots. And for tomorrow, breezy and warmer. Sunshine and a few clouds back up into the mid-70s. Mostly clear for tomorrow night, below 46. And even warmer for the weekend. It'll feel like summer again. Plenty of sunshine Saturday, up into the low 80s, and again into the low 80s on Sunday. Right now, it's 61 in Waterbury, 62 in Plainville, and it's 63 in Hartford. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let ugly algae streaks bring down your curb appeal. Choose the roof that keeps its color, its strength, and its beauty. Atlas Roofing with Scotchgard Protector, because the only thing your neighbors should notice is how great your roof looks. Please visit peterlbrown.com.
Chronic pain can be very bossy. What do I mean? It tells you what you can or can't do. Sometimes it even has the audacity to keep you from working.
I missed almost 3 weeks of work, and I was no longer able to play tennis. The pain was really debilitating sometimes. I missed Thanksgivings.
Abby was ready to put the bossy bad back in her past. And that's when she discovered QC Kinetics and their non-surgical treatments for pain. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine with tens of thousands of satisfied patients, people who have experienced real lasting relief without drugs and without surgery.
It has just been the most life-changing, amazing experience. Not only life-changing, but career-saving. I get to continue to do the career that I love. I'm playing tennis again.
Stop letting that joint pain boss you around. Start with a free consultation at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
We all hear the radio ads about lawns. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com. Call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Yeah, and we're back. I just want to give a little plug to Melba Moore. That's her book. This Is It, Marvelous and Getting Better, written by her and her. She is a co-author on that, but that's her book, This Is It. She'll be on the program on Tuesday next week. We'll talk to her a bit, roughly about 4:05, talk about what she's done, what she's doing, and how she's doing. So make sure you tune in for that. Talk about a blast from the past, Lori. You're 100% right. And thank you for that. Clifton Davis and Melba Moore had a variety show. It was the first sort of like duo, because you were right about the Flip Wilson show. That was kind of a one-man thing. but a lot of people were doing that, what's it? Rowan and Martin's Laughing, sort of like a, dual thing. She was one of the first African Americans to do a variety show, but that was in 1972. So I was like 3. So I didn't even know that. And I learned that about reading her bio. I was like, wow. Zach writes, can a transformer robot be binary if the computer in its head only speaks in binary? That's what makes this cartoon interesting, I guess. I wouldn't know. Let's get back to Kim. Kim wanted to say something about Charlie Kirk. Now, I have to ask, is this related to a conspiracy theory about his passing?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
There's so many things you could cover, but
I know.
yeah.
Go on. What you got?
No, a couple of things. The Charlie Kirk thing. I thought I was emotional about that because, like Erica Kirk, I'm a relatively new widow, and Charlie Kirk had gone to 3 weeks behind me. He had, or 3 weeks or 4 weeks behind me. He had gone to Japan. I did a around the world trip.
Oh wow!
And I was in Japan for quite a while, and his conclusions about Japan, which were exactly the same as mine. It's like, it's wonderful, all right?
Okay.
As far as I always have a criteria of no graffiti, no garbage, no criminal activity, orderly and polite people, and sure enough, they hit everything well. But it's not just that about that. But Charlie Kirk, I started to listen to him because of that, and I had heard him before, but it never really took with me how good a person he was and how energetic he was and great at delivery. And his message was really inspiring. So here's a story today that Kash Patel had gotten rid of the ADL.
Yes. Yes.
Out of the FBI. And that's important. And they're trying to say it's because they had the ADL, Anti-Defamation Defense League, right? Had said bad things about Charlie Kirk, that he was on an extremist and hate-filled message list that they have.
Yeah, they were much like the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Right. And if you had I've been calling since 2009, telling people to read The Shadow Party by David Horowitz, how George Soros and Hillary Clinton are undermining America. He talked a lot about the Southern Poverty Law Center, who has billions or close to billions, and an offshore Caribbean account, Grand Cayman, by the way. But it also about the Anti-Defamation, Anti-Semitic Defamation League. Now, keep in mind that Horowitz was Jewish.
Yes.
And he knew all the tricks that were going on with the communists, too. So it's not just that Kash Patel got rid of the association in the FBI. Is Comey there's stories about Comey has written love letters, they call it, to the ADL. He embedded FBI people in any of the manufactured events or not manufactured.
Right, anything that they were considering these extremist groups, Comey was responding to such as if an arm of that.
And he took their research and reports, and he had his people kind of work with them, right? But here's the thing. Kash Patel said an important line. It's a political front group masquerading as a watchdog group. You have to watch what they're saying. And like the guy in England, Tony Robinson, he's anti-Muslim. Anti-Semitic is a stupid term because it refers to all people of the Middle East. So it's anti-Jewish or anti-Muslim, right? So Tommy Robertson in the UK is very anti-Muslim because of what he has seen has happened to his country.
And he's not even anti-Muslim. He's anti-invasion in his view.
Invasion, right, because they've subordinated all the regular citizens of the UK.
Correct.
But what has happened is that the ADL has said that they were against him too. And you think about it, the Middle East is Jew versus Muslim. And so they're saying he's a problem as well.
Right. Yeah, interesting part. Kim, I do have to let you go, but can I Can I throw a little surprise at you?
Yes.
Do you remember I began our conversation by saying that you got me in a little bit of trouble?
Yes.
It was the ADL.
Oh, yeah, you can't trust them.
I
Yes,
just know. The
because
reason why I'm
when
telling
Kim-
you that, is because I knew you were going to go into it with that, and I knew about the Cash Patel story, but I wanted to sort of like say, Kim, you should congratulate yourself because you got on their radar.
Yes. And one last thing, that caller who said you don't have any black people who call your show, I think Mark from Windsor will be very surprised.
He'd be very upset about that. He totally would. Thank you, Kim, as always. I appreciate you.
Yep.
You
Bye.
got it. Yeah, again, that's, a lot of, he doesn't listen to the show long enough to know who listens to this show. He'd be incredibly surprised at how many African Americans, blacks, people of color, whatever, listen to the program. I'm not even concerned about that. There's a large group of people who listen to this program. I wanted to let Kim know that it's a big deal when you get on somebody's radar. It is. I'll say this. You remember the conversation I had with Josh Elliott yesterday talking about Jimmy Kimmel. And he had asked me the question saying that, if a president of the United States had tried to squash your freedom of speech, how would you feel about it? And my response to it is, which again, I don't know why these people talk to me like I come from a place that doesn't know better. I had it happen. And when you know that somebody is coming for you, and it wasn't just Bill, it was Hillary too. And I never once, and it's funny because I told my wife this years after we got together, I told her the story. And she turns around and she says to me, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "Why have you never told me the story?" As I've always said, not a name dropper. But yes, I know exactly what it's like when someone's trying to stop your freedom of speech or telling you what you can and cannot say. My response to that was, fire me. That was as simple as that. Fire me. And I promise you, I will make a case out of it. And I'm not talking about in litigation. I will make it a case in the court of public opinion. I will make it known that somebody is telling me, just old me, sitting in a Connecticut studio, that they made a case out of me just because I read a story that's in the news, in the Washington Post, about your library. I'll make a deal out of it. Absolutely. And no one ever bothered me again about it. I was warned again when the documentary about Stan Lee came out, about Peter Paul and his issues with the Hillary Clinton campaign. Everybody knows what happened after that. Yeah, I'm well aware of what it's like to have people come after you, powerful folks come after you. Just lowly old me. Yeah, I know exactly what it's like. But you never see me. And it's not about that dropping dime or, tattletaling. I don't need to do any of that. I know exactly who's listening. I know exactly who's talking. They make it clear. They can't help themselves. So, yeah, that was all the DNC talking points. It sure was. I've got some people sending me messages. I may have to go into figuring out what all of these are. Let me take one more. Let's go Chris in Wethersfield. Hey, Chris, how are you? Chris?
Good. How you doing,
Hey,
Reese?
what's up, man? Hey, long time no hear from.
Hey. Yeah, no kidding. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't want anybody to miss what you're saying. So you're sounding a little underwater. See if you can get stationary so we can come in clear. It sounds like you're moving around a bit.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah, not better. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and I'm going to get right back to you, okay? So hold on for me. I'll take Dave in Brantford real quick, get him on, and then I'll go back to Chris. What's up, Dave?
Yeah, tough to go quick, but I'll try. Josh Elliott made a technical economics point yesterday
yes.
that I would like to respond to. He was talking about the middle class property taxes that are paid by people.
Yeah, why didn't you call yesterday, Dave? I needed you.
I really wasn't calling when Josh was on it. Congratulations, he stuck around.
Yes.
Anyway, his point was a lot of lower-income, middle-class people, all their investable and equity income is tied up in their house.
Right.
So they're paying property taxes on the full value of their investment wealth.
That's right.
And the rich people who have a lot more stocks, hedge funds, and gold, they're not paying property tax on that. The point I'd like to make is that the property tax, your house and your car, are rationally related to expenses that the town has to pay, to maintain your investment.
Right.
Plow the roads, the snow, the garbage,
Right.
the fire department.
Huge
the police
point of what
department.
Craig was making yesterday, saying that these folks clearly have more sweat equity into their neighborhoods, where Greenwich and Darien, not so much. They don't have kids in school. Most of those folks are empty nesters or older folks.
So that gets me to the second point. Instead of whining about the rich people not pulling their weight, I'd say in my town, I just had to pay $170 in sewer tax. It's a use tax. If you use it, you pay for it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, the bottom half, are not paying anything to run the town.
That's a good point.
I think, we have to pay money to join the Little League, for pregnant women to have yoga classes at the rec department. I think we should have a small, modest fee to enroll children in schools. I think $200 is not unreasonable, just to get some money out of people. Let's face it, your kids get fed. The girls get hygiene products now in school. There's all kinds of stuff.
Dave, are you getting taxed for? Are you getting taxed like the Affordable Care Act, like paying for things that you don't use? Like,
of course, mainly the schools, mainly the. I've never had a fire.
Right.
I've never used the EMT. Mostly, I'm not. I do use the garbage, and I appreciate the roads.
Yeah, sure.
But my property tax. I'm getting old. It's getting a heavier and heavier burden. And a lot of people are paying nothing at all to float the boat of my town. That was my point.
Perhaps he
Thanks
should.
for letting me on it.
No problem. Perhaps he should do like what's his name? Gavin Newsom is doing. Make some other people pay their way. Chris, are you there? You good?
I'm still there. Can
No,
you hear
you're
me, bro?
perfect. Let's see if we can get you in a minute and a half. What's up?
Minute and a half. Okay. Reading an article in New York Post. Guy on condition of and what is
anonymity.
He didn't want to say his name. Thank you. The letting the shutdown happen because this is this person's words, he wanted to inflict maximum punishment on the Democrats. So my question is, who are the Democrats? Are the Democrats just the elected officials in Washington? And I think you're going to say no. There's more. There's more than just. You're not just screwing the people at the elected officials. Now let's talk about. Let's say 50% of the United States are Democrats. So are you just screwing those 50% of the Democrats in the United States? And the answer is, well, yes, but the answer is really no. This shutdown is going to affect everybody.
Right.
I don't think it's just Democrats who are getting their insurance from the Affordable Care Act.
Correct.
I'm sure there are Republicans out there who are going to see their insurance rate maybe double. So my point here is, when Trump comes out and he says, I want to inflict damage on the Democrats, what he's really doing is hurting the entire United States.
It's only partially true for this level. And I get what you're saying, because I can nuance this into anything I wish to with respect to that, because of the people who are affected by the shutdown. But see, the argument still lies here. What is causing this? If all the Republicans are signing the CR, and the only thing holding them up is 7 more Democrats, because you need 60 to sign on, that it really, and you know that the caucus of the Democrats is telling them, do not sign. You can say, you're saying that he's inflicting the pain on them. No, we all signed the continuing resolution. It's the Democrats who refuse to buckle. So it has got to be on them, especially if the only thing that needs to be done in order to open it up is to sign that agreement, and the Democrats have refused to. I got to go to a break, but I appreciate the question. In fact, stay on hold. I'll get you on the other end. Stand by. Let's get to Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're 91 southbound, use caution in Windsor. We have a problem on the right shoulder between exit 36 and 35. So a few cars sitting there on the right shoulder. Just use caution. Again, you'll slow in Hartford 33 down to 32 A and B. Once you get south of downtown, You'll see a little slowdown, 27 to 28, and again some slow traffic as you move down into Meriden, 19 down to 17. Northbound 91, good ride, Cromwell through downtown. A little slow up in Windsor, 35 up to exit 36. Westbound 84 tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 44 Prospect Oakwood. Delays again, 37 Finneman Road in Farmington out to exit 33 in the 72 interchange. Eastbound 84 is locked up half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound slowing 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 9 northbound slows Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Northbound Parkway in Meriden, we have an accident between 64B and 65. It's reported in the left lane. Stay right there. Delays are back to 62. Westbound 84 into Waterbury slowing 26 up to the Mixmaster. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. By the way, this traffic report is being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. Stuck in traffic again? Don't waste another minute. Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. Get you in and out fast, often in just one day. Open 7 days a week. Get your smile back now. Columbia Implant Center, ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Pretty nice fall afternoon across the region. Sunshine mixing with clouds. We're up into the mid-60s and partly cloudy tonight. A little bit chilly again. Down to 41. A little bit warmer for tomorrow. Sunshine and a few clouds. Breezy back up to 75. And feeling like summer again over the weekend. Plenty of sunshine for Saturday. We're up to 81, and the warm weather stays with us on Sunday. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
62 degrees at 5:30. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. That boil water advisory in Waterbury has been lifted. Water samples came back negative today in wake of the water main break last week and repairs this week. The mayor thanked residents, businesses, and others in a statement for their patience. A pill capsule that tested positive for fentanyl was found outside an elementary school in Southington. The find made by a staffer outside Kelly School on Wednesday. It was sent for testing, which confirmed the presence of fentanyl. The school's principal has notified parents. Debate about to get underway in New Britain. The Democratic State Representative Bobby Sanchez will be squaring off against Republican Alderwoman Sharon Malloy Saavedra at the New Britain Public Library, the two vying for the city's top job. Longtime Republican Mayor Aaron Stewart opted not to seek re-election. The debate gets underway again at 6. Police in Hamden have released the name of a mother who was killed last month in a crash in town that also took the life of her 7-year-old son. 40-year-old Brandy Lowry and her son died in that crash on Davis Street. Accident occurred on September 27th. The child's name was not released by police. Sean Diddy Combs set to be sentenced for violating the Federal Mann Act, an anti-prostitution law with a century-old history. Combs to be sentenced tomorrow, though he was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering charges. The disgraced hip-hop mogul was convicted in July of flying his girlfriend and male sex workers around the country to engage in paid sexual encounters. And an immigration judge has denied a bid for asylum from Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The judge in Baltimore Wednesday denied an application to reopen Abrego Garcia's asylum case, but he has 30 days to appeal. Wall Street, the markets finished up today. The Dow gained 78 points, or 178 points. The NASDAQ was up 88 and the S&P up 4. Wild card baseball on TIC tonight. Do or die for the Red Sox and Yankees at the stadium. 7:08 with the pregame. Here's that series tied at 1 game apiece. Detroit's in Cleveland, San Diego in Chicago. The Dodgers dispatched Cincinnati last night to win that series 2-0. The Thursday night football extravaganza features the 49ers at SoFi Stadium to take on the LA Rams. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Coverage varies by plan, view contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. Attention, have you racked up $10,000 more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
All right, and in what had happened was, you know the deal. We talked in the beginning about the government shutdown, of course, about the hypocrisy by the left. We played all the audio for you. If you need to watch that, make sure you go to reasonotheradio.com or go to the Odyssey app or go to WTIC.com in order to check out the show. And you can also download the Odyssey app and you can get the Reese on the Radio podcast where you can go to any section of the show that you like. Yes, Negro nonsense is included. So make sure you go there to check it out. And I like the fact that we do the little, bullet points on the show and benchmarks on the show. It lets everybody know exactly where they need to be. On tomorrow's program, Glenn Lungarini, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I think it's Glenn Lungarini, who's the executive director of CIAC, the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference. He'll be on the program to talk about Mr. Baker, the former NFL player, and the Windsor School. Also, I have somebody who is sending me an interview that was just done with Mr. Baker about this, and I hear that there's going to be a press conference tomorrow anyway, and that's fine. We'll get to the bottom of that as well. I think that's about it. Do I have? Let me take Chris so I can wrap this up. Chris,
you got it, bro.
Just so I understand where you're coming from.
Yep.
Here's what I'm trying to convey to you. The bottom line is that the Democrats are holding the line on getting illegals Medicaid care, whether it's emergency or pregnant or concussion care, whatever it is. They're holding the line to make sure that they get that care that they provide for them. This is the political stand that they want to make. This is the hill they wish to die on. My question to you is, if in less than 30 seconds, should they do it?
For illegals, they need to be put out to pasture. But I'm more worried about the people who are on the Affordable Care Act, because what's going to happen is if they don't have insurance, and they go to a hospital, the hospital's not going to refuse them. So that somebody's going to pay for that. And I think it's going to be the hospital. I don't think will, because we already have 3 hospitals in Connecticut that are almost into bankruptcy, right?
Oh, but trust me, those things are into bankruptcy. They've got bigger problems than that. That's a story I got to fill, because I got nurses I'm talking to now who are going to be guests on the show. Those stories are bad. But I'm glad that you said that. I just wanted to hold you up for a little bit. Thanks, Chris. And good to hear from you again. Let's get another check of our weather and traffic before we get out of here. Mark Christopher, he's at the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're on the westbound side of 84, delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to exit 44 Prospect Oakwood, 84 eastbound slowing about a mile before 46th Avenue down to the Bulkley. Southbound 91's a little slow at 33 Jennings Road, again 27 to 28. And again, some sluggish traffic, 19 down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Park. Parkway, northbound 91, good ride. Cromwell up into Windsor Locks. 291, 384, okay, 2 westbound slowing. 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Both sides of 9, heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge.
Prather says there's a history of black people being described that way, which makes it extremely upsetting.
72 interchange in Plainville. Westbound 84 slowing 25A up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Southbound on the Wilbur Cross Parkway, that is, you're looking at delays now as you move down from exit 52 in Hamden down into the West Rock Tunnel. 91 southbound delays from 6 in toward the 95 interchange, and South 95 New Haven's tight 48 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Pretty nice out there this afternoon, a little bit on the cool side, and we'll have another chilly night for tonight. Partly cloudy down to 41. Most outlying spots probably dip back into the 30s. And for tomorrow, breezy and a little warmer. Sunshine and a few clouds up to 75. Mostly clear for tomorrow night, the low 46. And then a beautiful weekend on tap. Still feeling a little bit like summer. Plenty of sunshine Saturday up to 81. And it looks like we'll likely crack 80 again as we head into Sunday. Right now, it's 66 in New Britain, 64 in Newington, and it's 63 in Hartford. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080. In the fight against Alzheimer's, now matters. Because now we have new treatments that could change everything. Join the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's, the world's largest fundraiser to fight the disease. Step up in your community at alz.org/walk.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments, in most cases, have made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
You're listening to Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal.
I'll let
to
them know,
schedule a
Richard.
Free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
For radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Okay, so I've been thinking about it since you guys mentioned it, and we've done this for a while. And you know, what I like to do in this program, I'll do for a long time, and then I'll say to myself, okay, I got to switch it up. It's not that I'm getting rid of Negro nonsense. It's going nowhere. I love it. But I am going to do something new. So next week, I am going to feature a new... I'm just going to feature another benchmark for the program because the crowd, you asked for it. So I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to tell you when it is or when it's going to air, but you can damn well bet it will be early next week. Could be Monday, could be Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. But it will be a weekly thing. I've already got the music laid out in my head. I've already got the bit done. It's ready to go, okay? So all of the critics, And all of the people who want, or, by popular demand, want their own version of Negro nonsense, you got one. And you are going to get it. I promise you, you are going to get it next week. Okay? Now, with that being said, it is Thursday. And I didn't ask for this. They did. I have another Negro nonsense, and this one's going to blow your mind. Negro nonsense.
How dare you?
Negro nonsense.
How dare you?
Negro nonsense.
How dare you?
Action.
I automatically said, that's unacceptable. And I don't think nothing's funny about it.
Prather says there's a history of black people being described that way, which makes it extremely upsetting.
My skin is boiling. I don't even like racism, and to know where we come from and our ancestors, and for us to be labeled like that, because when they call us monkey, they basically saying that we're ugly, we act like a monkey and all this and that. I don't like that at all.
What is this young lady talking about? Okay. According to the story, at this elementary school called the Floral Avenue Elementary School, a young boy came into the classroom on his birthday, and the teacher decided to sing a birthday song that now they're finding offensive. What was the birthday song? Well, it wasn't a traditional happy birthday, happy birthday. That wasn't that. No, it definitely wasn't a Stevie Wonder version. That's not for you. It's really for Martin Luther King Jr. No. This was the birthday song. I'll sing it for you. You might remember it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You smell like a monkey. And you look like one, too. Yes, Lori's already ahead of me. First of all, we've been doing that song since I was, 2? I don't even know how old I was. The only reason why I know it is because we sing it to all of our friends. No one has ever called it racist. No one, not a soul, not a solitary soul has ever called that racist. But I guess it is now. Again, I'm floored. Now you know why we do the segment. If I haven't explained it to you enough, that is the reason why. Exactly. Wendy's like, my kids still sing it to each other. Yep, not anymore, though. Now it's a wrap. Again, if you're boiling like her blood is boiling, now you know why I do this segment. Now you know why. Let's get to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Jackson Windsor. Hello, sir.
There's going to be a lot less need
Jack?
for electric chargers out on the Mass Turnpike and the other roads where these...
Okay, I don't know who he may be talking to someone else. Let's go to Ken in Tallinn. Hello, Ken. How are you?
Yeah, this is a talk show, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Great. Yeah. Well, I'd like to discuss, first of all, I have 3 topics here. DEI. I watched Charlie Kirk talking to some college students, and he said to them, would you rather have a doctor operate on you that's got plenty of experience, or someone else just got hired from DEI? Which would you choose? Well, let's go back to Trump's choices, okay?
Okay.
Everyone he has in his system right now, they have no experience in any of it.
Name one.
The War Department. What is his experience?
Pete Hegseth was not in the military? He's not a decorated war hero?
I don't know if he's a decorated war hero.
Well, then maybe Ken. You should, Ken. If you don't know it, perhaps you should stop.
What's he? No.
Ken, no, Ken, you said it yourself. You said, I don't know. Okay. So, Ken, you are on this phone. Stop, Ken. I'm listening to you, and I'm having a conversation with you. So let me respond. You just got up here to talk about people's experience. And then I asked you, did you know that Pete Hegseth was a decorated war hero? And you said, I don't know. So perhaps, wait. Perhaps, Ken, perhaps you should, Ken,
what war?
Perhaps you should take your own advice and stop while you're ahead talking about things that you have no experience in.
Okay, let's go on to the
No. We're done, Ken. Ken. And you know what? And Ken, no. Ken, I'm done with you. I'm done with you because your openings.
If you don't like what people are saying,
Ken,
hang up on.
Ken, I didn't hang up on you, Ken. You're still here. Ken, you're still here.
$17 trillion from tariffs.
Ken,
where is it?
I'm going to say to you one more time.
$17
Do you want
trillion?
Do you think you just want to repeat? You want to just repeat the question, or you want me to speak to you? Okay, thank
Where's
you.
the $17
when I'm done with our first
from
question,
tariffs?
I'll get to the 17 trillion. So you don't want to deal with that now because you've been embarrassed by it. You didn't know what you were talking about.
Not embarrassed
you came
at all.
So be quiet then, and let me finish. You don't know anything about the person. You said, well, no, the Secretary of War, what does he know? You don't even know who he is. You know nothing about him, and then you came here to criticize him. You came in here with a head full of you came in here with a head full of hot air, and you were uninformed. Don't ever come on a talk show and say it's a talk show, so let's just talk. Next time you come here, no. Next time you come here, all right, and we'll be looking out for you, Ken. The next time you come out here and talk about people's inexperience, make sure you can back it up with a little bit of experience of your own, like a little bit of knowledge and know-how. It's been a pleasure. Have a wonderful evening. The nerve of some of these bozos. The absolute nerve. I don't know if he's a war hero. But I can tell you he doesn't know nothing about war. I don't know nothing about him, but I know he's not prepared to be the Secretary of War. What's up, Scott?
Reese, every day I take my husky up the reservoir and I run him and I listen to you on the radio. And so many times you did so many great takedowns. I can't believe it. I totally enjoy listening to you.
Thank you, Scott.
You're a great speaker.
Thank you. So I don't even think that much, but that's very nice of you to say. Sometimes I can fumble a bit because I'm kind of going on like raw energy, but I really appreciate you saying that. And the Huskies, how many Huskies? Just one?
Yeah, just one, yeah.
Can I ask you a personal question about the Huskies?
Yeah.
I will tell you that I think they're one of the most beautiful dogs in the world. But I have to be honest with you. I like a lot of dogs, but it is one of the dogs that I'm kind of fearful of. Can you help me?
They're a lot of work.
They are? Okay. Because I have a little bit of apprehension for them. Did you ever hear that people look at them like they're kind of wolf-like, and that may be where the apprehension is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a little kid come up to me at the lake, started crying. He goes, he looks like Dracula. Yeah.
Well, there was only, I'm telling you, the reason why is that you may not remember this movie, but there was a film called The Lost Boys back in the days. You know, it's about vampires, and they had a pet dog named Nanook in the movie. And I fell in love with that dog, and he protected the young kid played by Corey Haim in the film. And as a young man in my 15, 16 years old, I really took a liking to that. I was like, what? That dog is protective. I would love a dog like that. But as I got older, I got very fearful of them because of, you know, that sort of look, as you said, like a sort of a monster look. And I was always cautious because what if I can't train them the right way? So that was my apprehension.
Huskies they're usually friendly.
Okay.
Huskies.
They're not docile though, right?
They're a lot of work. They're a lot of work. I take them for a walk in the morning after work, and now I hang in a 24-foot cord out the window, and I let him run with the car. I've been doing this for 8 years.
How old is the Husky?
He's 8.
Oh, yeah, good age, good age. And do you mind if I ask what's his name?
Keno.
Keno, perfect name. That's a great name. Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate that, and thank you, for sharing your story with us, and thank you for letting me know about Keno.
Okay, thank you.
You got it, buddy. Thank you. Dr. Steve is on the line. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Reese. I wanted to just make a comment in response to one of your recent callers.
Yeah.
So I know you just had a caller sort of applaud you for how you handled the prior caller. Who, had,
the Hegseth guy, yeah.
Without being prepared to answer your questions. But I wanted to say, actually, I like you, Reese. I like listening to your show and enjoy the counterpoint and talking through things. But I would actually say I don't like how you handled that case. And of course, it's your show and you can handle folks any way you want. But I would argue that what you did was bullying, and you publicly humiliated a man on the radio who, he may deserve to be told he doesn't know the right way to, be prepared to ask a question. But I think publicly humiliating somebody is bullying. And I wonder what you think about that.
Okay. I will, as a person who has been bullied and understands bullying from the bullying or being bullied perspective, I would say that in this regard, Dr. Steve, the individual whom I was denigrating or bullying, as you put it, he's got a reputation on this program. He often calls with his wife shouting in the background other talking points that he's heard on other liberal shows. He's not a fan of Reese on the Radio. He comes on aggressively to either condemn me, condemn my point of view, condemn this audience, and also this radio station for not seeing the world in the way in which he does. So he comes in very adversarial. I've dealt with him plenty of times. In fact, I've dealt with him so much, I've often tried to be quite kind to him. He's only been more and more rude. Now, I know you haven't experienced my interactions with him. It's obvious you haven't. You sort of looked at this as a one-off, and I get it. So I don't take any offense to that. But I will tell you this. As I have with other guys like Tony and all those other guys, they'll call up, and I'll be very, very nice because I don't want to ever come off like I don't appreciate the people who take the time to call. It's when they are rude and disrespectful to me that I immediately have to assert who I am and what I will not tolerate. So when people talk to me in a certain way, I'll give them an opportunity. But when they don't know they're talking about, especially guys like Ken, who is, again, those things as I just described, I immediately stop them in their tracks because some people think that they should be allowed to behave any which way they want to. I'm here to tell them that will not be tolerated. We can have a discussion where we debate, and I debate with plenty of people, as I do with you, Dr. Steve, but there are some people who, unfortunately, and I apologize if I have to be a little crass here, I got to smack around a bit. I mean, and I make no apologies.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I think I didn't appreciate the context and that there's multiple prior calls, and that certainly can add.
Yeah, but I can't, Dr. Steve, I can't expect you to listen to every hour of the show or even know what my earlier interactions was. That's why, you know what? That's why I'm not even looking at you like, you don't know, Dr. Steve. No, I just, I'm looking at it as, and as I'm doing here. Even though, like, some people would say, like, what do you know, Dr. Steve? Why would you, like, people would immediately say that. I was like, you don't know who he is. Like, my approach is, I already know, Dr. Steve, you wouldn't be saying that unless this was sort of one of those times where you saw me do something that you thought was outside of my own character. And that's because usually when you're listening, I am always respectful, always, there's some reciprocity in our exchanges. And it's interesting that after I had to blow this loser out, you come on the line and I'm as pleasant as the day is long, right?
Right.
So,
I think for my part, I think there's too much bullying happening in politics. There's
understood.
Too much, gamemanship and.
But I'll tell you this: if it makes you feel any better, this is a part of my what's the word? I'm a little bit of a sociopath, and I can admit that. What I mean by that is as easy as I can go in and scream off a guy like Ken. You can come on and I could be as delightful as ever and I completely forget about the mood I was in earlier. That's kind of
right.
I mean, it's like, I don't even give it a second thought about my exchange with him. So that's where that comes from. But I love you, Dr. Steve. You know that from the bottom of my heart, buddy.
Thanks, Reese. Appreciate it.
You got it. What? No, I love you too? As I always say, radio is free. So we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You Have a good night. Pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you back here on Friday on Reese on the Radio. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Traffic Center getting you home. Bad case of loving you. He didn't say I love you too.
I know. You didn't get one back.
I love it when the girl says, like, I love you. She's like, thank you. Good night, man.
That's not a good sign. Have a good night, Reese. If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91's a little...
All right, good sir.
All right, buddy.
John Silver just came over here and said, this is my first time listening to the whole 4 hours. I am mentally exhausted.
Westbound 84.
Tell John I appreciate him.
Approaching 35 down to 33.
Go take a nap. You'll be fine.
Pouring the Waterbury slowing from exit 25 up to the mix map.
Oh, man, that was great. I love you too, John. Yeah, he just left it out there, Lori. Just hanging out there. Oh, man. I love all of you guys. You guys be good to you. John Silva, mentally exhausted. I don't think I can get a better compliment than that. Even if it's in a bad way, I still appreciate it. You guys be good to each other. I got to give this guy a call from the CIAC to get him on the show tomorrow, man. I love you guys. Be good to each other. I'll see you mañana.